welcome to Gaming With The Goons, and you're back with another episode of D&D. So last time our adventurers managed to compete in a game of Glacier Ball for rights to access the village hall in the hopes of finding the ice caves, or a path down to the ice caves underneath, where the dragon Arufator is hiding. Today we've got the whole group here, including our special guests, Rob and Dan, who you've met in the previous two sessions. Rob waved at the microphone, but let's get started.
I like to derail things.
We're tired.
Speak for yourself.
So after a long rest, our adventurers, they've awakened to the fresh sort of smell of fresh fish, the cold wisping air running through the igloo. What are you guys going to do on this fresh morning?
I look for fish.
Was Mouse in the igloo with us?
No,
Mouse is outside.
Mouse is my igloo.
Mouse is in your igloo.
Yeah, Mouse is in my igloo.
You're all in the same igloo. You're all in the same igloo around the same fire.
I thought we had our own igloo each.
No.
God damn it!
It's only a small village.
Okay then. Well,
So
technically, Mouse
the
can fit in.
In that case, I'm probably sat there, my staff just laid across my legs. I'm holding a sharpened stone, just carving a lion into the side of the staff.
Okay, yep. So you just carve another lion into the side of your staff. It doesn't take too long. You're proficient at carving animals in your staff.
Yeah,
I look for
a
fish.
closer examination of the staff reveals that I have actually got quite a few animals already carved there.
I look for fish.
As quite defined. You go outside and there's just like buckets of fish where the ice hunters have been like fishing in the morning, and they clearly are waking up a lot earlier.
I feed Mouse. That's it.
Okay.
I'm going to cook some breakfast, but I'm going to make the fish taste like bacon.
I think I'd agree with that.
You can do that?
Yep, prestidigitation.
Okay, fair enough.
I eat rations.
Yep. So you eat some stuff. Bone Carver comes and finds you, and Bone Carver offers and says, "Well, don't eat too much breakfast. We have a feast prepared for you guys in the village hall." And she gives you an all-knowing wink with one of her eyes and sort of just walks off. It wasn't very sly.
I know.
Way to be subtle. I'm not sure
I'm just quite happy that there's more food.
Yeah, that's true.
Is there really food, or is it a food wink wink situation?
She looks at Fanner and goes, "Both."
Okay.
And doesn't wink.
Can I, once I see the fish, can I just grab like a handful of fish and then start eating and say yum yum?
Yep, you can, and you just go.
Like
it took me a moment then. He's a tabaxi, isn't he?
He's a tabaxi, yeah. See, the cats like the fish.
We have 3 cats in this group.
That's very true.
Fair. Can I go outside and check on Saphira?
Yeah, so she's fine.
She should be fine, right? The cold's not affecting her too much?
Not too much. I would say after a little bit of time, then perhaps some of the cold areas, but being copper, it's not really affected too much yet. It'll be a lot more intense cold.
Yeah, that's cool.
More effect.
I thought she would be okay. Also, technically, she's amphibious.
Also true. So she could swim for a little bit.
Okay, I walk outside and go to the village hall. Riding Mouse.
Okay, is everyone else following?
I'm going to follow quite briskly behind, just shaking my head. It's only a few meters away.
Yeah.
Why are you riding a lion?
It's not far. It's literally like, maybe 50 feet, if that.
Hey, my lion speed has got 50 feet. So
as you walk outside in your coach, you realise that it's quite a cold day today as well, and there's not much in terms of like snow and stuff, which does actually surprisingly add a bit of warmth. So it's just crisp, cold air from like the northern sea. It's a bit salty in the air.
I'm going to warm myself up.
Yeah.
Internally.
I'm so used to living out in the wilds that I just have my cloak that I normally have draped over me, and that is it. I have a harness for things like any potions I might be carrying, but
I have Mouse.
Actually, I just I warm my clothes because I can't warm myself technically, so I warm my clothes.
Okay, yep. So you warm Rinceback warms his clothes, and as you sort of warm yourself up on your way to the village hall, Bone sees you coming and ushers you in. So she opens the front double sort of wooden reinforced doors, and you come in. It's quite a fancy area. It's not huge. It's maybe 50 feet by 80. Well, it's big for this village. The floor is like wooden slats. There's a nice rug in the middle, and they've at the very back of the village hall, they've got some round sort of semicircular shaped thrones. There's 3 of them, 1 massive one, 2 smaller ones next to it.
Is there people around us at the moment? Not villagers.
There is. There are no villagers, but there's 2 guards on the outside. And inside there's only Bone Carver and the Orca Heart, which is the chieftain you beat.
Okay, so before I go, can I look for a villager? Actually,
yeah, just before you come in.
Before I go in, I'm gonna look
Yeah,
for
it's
a
easy to
villager.
find one. There's
So-
enough about.
I go up to the villager and I ask him, or is it him or her?
It's him.
Okay, so I go up to him and then just like, so I am a knight from the castle of Waterdeep, and we've been told here to do some looking out for about the cult, but we found out some of your characters, some of your people around here have been missing. I was wondering if anyone from your family missing, or if you can lead me to someone that has a missing family member.
She doesn't. It basically. She explained you there because they're a tribe. They're all sort of one family.
Okay.
And it's people have gone missing every now and again. Seems to be quite frequent. She can't take you to any missing family because they're all the same. And they don't.
Do you have any accessories of a certain person that has been missing?
She gives you she shows you a bracelet, like a little bead bracelet.
So I tell her, can you hold out the bracelet in your hand?
Yeah.
And I tell my mouse to smell it.
Okay.
To get it a
Yeah.
smell.
Make a perception check with advantage. I think if you're smelling, because it's a lion.
Keen smell.
What is this room lit with?
So it's lit with. So the village hall is lit with torches around the edges, and in the centre there's a table, and it's got plates of fish, plates of like some kind of meat.
So just torches, there isn't like a big hearth fire in here or something?
No,
like
no. There's a lot of like small little
that? Braziers and stuff?
Yeah, braziers and torches on
Okay.
the braziers.
So-
That's cool.
As
So
we
that-
go in, are there like any other doors that are like either ajar so I can see what's inside them, or they're just
It's literally it. So you come into the village hall, and there's just double doors, the table in front of you with all the food on it, the 3 friends at the back, and some like tapestry towards the back as well. There is no other doors that you can
no
see.
visible doors?
Yes. No doors that you can see.
We've already been told that there is a way down to the caves.
You've been told
in
there's
there,
a secret
so-
passageway in the village hall.
7 was the answer to my smell.
So Mouse smells it and gets a huge, basically like all the fish, the fresh fish they've been putting up. It's just distracted his scent, and he can't really piece it together with all like the water and the fish and
Right, well,
fish
as
about.
thinking, that mouse actually has a smell of one of the villagers. I just think that okay, let's reunite with everyone. Well, I'll reunite everyone because I went away while they went inside the hall.
Yep. So
Can-
yeah.
Sorry.
go on.
No, I was going to say, can I? I'm just going to say to who's the leader of this village?
Orca
Orca
Heart.
Heart. Okay, I'm just going to say to Orca Heart, oh, do you mind if I make a quick blessing of this room to my
Make a
gods?
persuasion check.
Whilst he's talking to Orcahart, can I approach the tapestry, like make a show of just like supposedly just looking at admiring the tapestry, but I'm actually just investigating around it. Like, is there anything?
Yeah,
that
you're
I
trying to make
can
it
see
obvious,
that-
or
No, I want to try and be as subtle as possible about it.
okay. I would say make an investigation check. But make a sleight of hand check first. Sorry.
11.
Okay, we'll come back to that in a second.
Yeah, no worries.
15.
Okay, now make just a general investigation check, straight roll. Yeah. So he's not convinced, and he goes, rather than bless, why not sit down and make grace instead? And he basically beckons you to a seat near the table. just so you're aware, not being in the previous session, he wasn't very happy about you winning the Glacier Ball, and it's more of an honour that he's kept you or allowed you in here.
I got a 13 on that.
Was I actually in the competition? Or was I on the sideline?
You were in the competition.
I was in
You were
the
in the
competition.
competition.
Okay.
It was only me
Well, then
on the sidelines. So.
Had I thought about that, I probably would have spoken to someone else.
No, that's fair.
No, that's fine. I'll bow my head graciously and be like, certainly, I will keep my praise to myself.
Yep. You beckoned you to a seat. Your
It was a
investigation was
13.
your investigation was 13. Okay, so as far as you can tell, tapestry is quite fine. It's quite fancy. It seems a lot richer than what the village can afford. But behind it, there doesn't seem to be anything behind it, as far as you can tell.
I'll just cast a glance over the table. This spread, presumably. Excuse me. Is there anything I can tell in particular about the food? Is it look tasty? Is it fresh?
Make a perception check.
Has it been tainted?
Make a perception check, and if you want, you can roll for Ridicus to smell.
Natural 20.
Oh no, natural 20.
Was perception?
Yes, perception.
25 in that case.
25. Okay, that's really high.
Natural 20.
Natural 20 as well. So first natural 20 of the day. It looks fresh. So most of it looks fresh.
Okay.
There seems to be some oddly placed bowls. So there's like plates of meat, and in the sort of the center of like the meat and some fruit and stuff, there seems to be plates of fish. But it's not, the fish are not together. They seem to be spread out and sort of made more of a center of the table, almost as to invite people to try it.
Okay.
That's probably all you get from perception alone.
I don't know how this would work. I can't get any closer.
Oh, okay. Just speak louder.
So, if I were to casting Speak with Animals to speak to Mouse, is Mouse in the hall? Or is Mouse?
Is Mouse in the hall?
You can be.
Okay. I was wondering if I arrived or not.
Oh no, yeah, you would have arrived. Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, so I'm going to cast Speak with Animals so I can speak to Mouse. So as I do that, as I cast the spell, my staff and the mistletoe sprig entwined at the top start to glow.
Yeah.
And then cast Guidance on Mouse and basically say, "What do you think of the fish?"
Okay,
Basically asking him
yeah.
to check the fish for me.
So
with
make
guidance,
so if
which
Arthur
is
would
an
make
extra
a
D4.
make a perception roll with advantage of the fish.
Can I just eat it and
Yep. So as
taste?
16.
16. Okay. I need you, Monarch, to make a Constitution saving throw.
I knew there'd be something wrong with that fish.
As a mouse sniffs it and goes, and basically goes to Murren, and he goes, "Smells fishy."
That was enlightening. Very enlightening.
And but the way he says it is obviously he's trying to get across that
Yeah.
it's dodgy.
It's dodgy.
How intelligent is Mouse?
Yeah.
Very dumb.
Very
Actually,
dumb.
no. Yeah, very dumb.
Very dumb.
Smells fishy
Legit.
indeed.
He's intelligence is free with a -4.
God.
I got 14.
14. That unfortunately is not enough. So
Instant death.
so it is. No, it's not too bad. It's 9 points of poison damage. But you instantly drop unconscious.
And do we witness this?
But you just see your Monarch take the fish and then instantly just collapse down to the floor.
Okay, I'm gonna run over and like check his vital signs and just like see what's happening if I can.
Make a general medicine check.
And I'll do the same. I'm concerned by the sudden.
You can either roll separately or you can assist.
I'll
Tanner
assist.
can either assist.
Is he going to assist me? Yeah.
I've rolled
Does that mean I get
Yeah,
advantage?
advantage.
Oh,
RuneSpark gets advantage
Good.
on the roll.
Oh, that's much better. 21.
Okay, so you can tell that he still is current or minus 9 hit points. But
Yeah.
you can still tell he's not dead, but he's unconscious. He's stable, but it'd be hard to wake him up for a good few hours.
I'm going to turn angrily to the leader and be like, "What is the meaning of this? Why have you done this to our friend?" And just like now I'm a gnome, so I'm not very big, but I'm gonna stride angrily and like get right up into, well, let's face it, his belly button, and just start like prodding him, and I'm basically creating the biggest commotion that I can. create.
As you do that, I step up behind you, and I'm a half orc. I'm not always trying to be intimidating, but when I'm angry, people tend to listen to me.
I don't realise he's there.
Yeah.
You don't know, I'm still twice your height.
He still can't see you though, because basically
No, because I'm literally like
you're
this.
you're like navel. Well,
Yeah.
like face to navel.
I mean, what is he? Human or is he?
Human.
He's
human.
human. Okay, so
And he's quite tall.
I'm probably
He's
like
quite tall.
hip
He's
to
5'11", so RuneSpark is like
He's actually taller than me.
hippish. And basically, Moran's behind him. What's Fanner done this time is they basically just started to threaten the shaman.
I'll stand back and gets his hackles up.
Yep, so Ridicus gets his hair on his ends and hisses. Bonecarver's going to take this opportunity to grab some fish and run up and shove it in the shaman's mouth. And as she does this, she says, "Try not to kill him. That will cause more upset." Oh, you failed. So he failed his Constitution saving throw. Is going to take a bunch of damage.
When we said distraction, this isn't quite what we meant.
7.
But at the very least, it's not what I meant.
Yeah.
Is there still other people in this room?
No, the guards are outside.
Oh,
and they
thank
close the door
God.
behind it. Luckily,
As soon as I
in
see
the
that
commotion-
happening, I'm going to quieten down and just start
in
looking.
the commotion, you've basically Bonecarver's closed the door and run over with some fish just to shove it in her mouth. And she goes, "Oh, sorry, I didn't realise I'll poison the fish." As he collapses to the floor and is also unconscious for an unknown amount of time. So now Eumonop's unconscious.
He's just unconscious. There doesn't appear to be anything else.
It's the same sort of thing that affects.
Yeah,
Eumonop.
I don't. I can cure wounds, but I can't cure poison.
Well, I can cure poison because I've got lesser restoration.
Okay. I'm going to start
can
searching
definitely-
for the
it's-
hidden entrance.
In that case,
You gonna try it? Make an investigation. RuneSpark, make an investigation roll for the hidden entrance.
Can I get my lion mouse to do some, I don't know, maybe sniff, see if there's any area which doesn't smell like the fishiness around, or a little, like, I don't know, have a little smell to that. Is a different smell to what it is.
Yeah,
it is
make
right now.
perception with disadvantage. That'd be quite hard to do.
Would it be just straight then? Because obviously I'll get advantage for smelling.
And then it'd be straight roll. Yeah.
I'm gonna cast lesser restoration on Eumonop.
Okay,
Just to try and purge the poison from him.
Okay, perfect. So as you
I don't need to roll for that.
no,
It
you
just
don't. No,
happens.
Just happens. So you put your is it touch spell or?
Yes,
I
it
believe
is
it
a
is,
touch
isn't it?
spell.
Yep. So you put your hand on Eumonop, a touch spell, and then Eumonop begins to rouse, begins to awaken from his unconscious slumber. You now know that fish is not tasty.
Are you okay?
I got 7.
Unfortunately, you're looking around and you found some areas. You know, like the wall hasn't really got anything. It doesn't really make sense. You know to look on the floor, but you haven't really found the right nook yet. Unfortunately.
Can I also try and look for?
Make an investigation roll.
I'm going to do the same thing, but
Yep.
I'm.
Can I throw some like chalk and stuff in the air to see if there's any drafts coming from places that wouldn't to assist somebody?
That's smart. I would say
Okay, so
investigation with advantage.
I'm assisting someone else. Someone else can
assist-
have
yeah, someone else can
I
have
will
advantage.
I will go for advantage.
Mouse got 15 on his smell, and I got 18 on my search.
Okay.
And I got 13 on mine.
Was that with advantage?
That was it with advantage.
Oh my god.
Okay.
I am.
Because I've already done an investigation roll and failed, so.
So Bonecarver's just looking at the shaman like, what do I do? I've got to try and get him out or keep people busy as you begin to hastily search around the room. So between you searching, you begin to look in like the back corner of the room, along with Mouse. You begin to head in the same direction, looking at like the floorboards and how they're laid. At this moment, you chuck some chalk.
Yeah, some chalk.
And you notice the draft is in that corner, so that leads you to the correct location. And then with, like between all three of you looking and the chalk, you manage to find that some of the floorboards are actually loose in the far right corner. They seem to be priable, not connected to the ground by nails or anything like that. They're loose.
I lift up the floorboards.
Yep. So as you,
Would the shaman use the throne, or is the throne for someone else?
the shaman would use a throne, and 2 sort of seats would be for his. Like,
Okay, I
left and
suggest we
right,
prop them up in the throne and just sit them in the throne.
Bone Cover goes, "Thank you. I'm panicking." And then
Can we give him like a goblet of wine as well to make it his drunk?
yeah, so Bone Cover puts them on the throne. You give him some of the wine.
Go out to the front and tell the guards not to disturb him, that he's resting. He's drunk. Good, yes.
He's drunk. That's more important, because if he's resting, people will just go out and say. If he's drunk, people might not think that he can wake up from it.
Yeah.
Okay, Bone Cover goes, okay, I'll do that. Go through the secret passage.
Like, what just happened?
You just follow us downstairs. That's all you need to do.
You got poisoned.
Bad fish. The fish was
Where's
bad.
the dye?
He's also been poisoned by the fish. Did he poison it, or did Bone Cover poison it?
No. He you don't know, but you'd assume that the shaman poisoned it. Bone Cover told you she wasn't aware and just poisoned him.
Say, I need to kill him.
You can kill him later. We need to get this.
Or preferably not at all. We do need to try and stay in the goodwill of these villagers. Killing their leader will not help with that.
Bone Cover goes, I'll make it very difficult for you to leave the village.
You kill him, I get an arrest warrant for you.
I'm heading down.
Yep,
I'm leaving these guys to argue.
It is so it's more of it's a tunnel.
It's a tunnel, yeah.
Is it lit? Or...
I'm just about to scrub it now, so...
sorry.
Yeah. No, it's alright.
Getting ahead of myself
Everyone's very eager. No, that's okay. That's okay. Yeah, it is a tunnel, so as you approach it, it's actually, in the back corner, are some icy stairs that head down in a spiral. Surprisingly, it's well lit, because it's because of like the icy ground. It's like a bit crunchy, a bit sleety, kind of like snow. It crunches as you step on it, and as you go down, there are some little torches that seem to be lit across down this sort of corridor. And what you notice is the light in the ice reflects the light a lot more. So it's not quite bright light, but it's almost that same sort of effect.
It's not dark enough.
It's not dark enough to be dim light. No, because the torches are like shining off the crystals of the ice, and it's actually making it a lot brighter than.
Is it just
like
a long corridor?
It's just like a long spiral staircase that goes into a room, and there is a corridor coming out this room. The room is maybe 10, 15, 20 feet, 20 feet by 20 feet. And there's a corridor that goes out into a corridor that seems to bend left and right in a sort of circular motion. Until you go out, you wouldn't be able to see what's there. There is a corridor behind you as well, so there's a corridor going out into a circular motion. There's also a corridor going into a room behind you.
Is there a door to that room, or is it just like
a doorway? A corridor. It's just a corridor that goes out.
Okay.
And in the corner of the rooms, you begin to hear a coughing in the corner of the room, and you hear some like rustling of some like silver, and it's a villager. One of the light dressed nice hunter garb, just coughing, looking quite ill in the corner of the room.
Okay, I'm gonna go over to them then and sort of ask, are you okay? What are you doing down here?
Orca, put me here. I'm ill.
I'm gonna hand him a potion then. One of my healing drafts.
He takes it. Doesn't seem to have an effect. He seems a bit healthier for the for the time being, but he like just still starts coughing.
Do you want to roll for it, or are you just gonna GM its effects?
gym its effects.
That's fine.
So
That's fine.
there's no point rolling for it because it doesn't really have an effect as such. It does
sick
heal
in a
him,
different
but
way.
it's not sick in the same way as.
Yep.
That's
fine.
He's not hurt as such. He's more sick.
Can
Before
I-
you go with the potion,
Can I try lesser restoration on him?
you can.
Does it do anything?
It does. Yeah, so you're casting the spell, and as it begins to cure, and he begins to stop coughing, he seems to look a little healthier, less gaunt, and he goes, "Oh, I feel so much better."
Why are you down here? Like, why did Orcaheart
Okay.
take you down here?
Orgahar. I followed him in the caves. I followed him when he was digging more tunnels, and I got ill when he was digging the tunnels. He's put me and other villagers here. Most have passed away or been fed to the dragon.
I will say to him, take a few moments to rest. When you have the time, when you feel better, go to the town guard and tell your story of what your leader's been doing here.
He goes, "Who can I trust? I've been gone for so long."
Bone Carver. You can trust Bone Carver. She's
Okay.
the reason we're down here.
She has been trusted, like, right-hand woman for years. I'll speak to her.
She just shoved poisoned fish into the shaman's mouth. I don't think that trust is going to last much longer.
She has more sway than you realise. I'll go tell her. And he immediately runs back up the spiral staircase. Well, with like surprising vigour, considering they were just coughing and choking a second ago.
I kind of...
And
I watch him go and kind of smirk to myself.
he
I'm
turns back
proud
and-
of my own spell.
He turns back and comes to you, goes to Moen and goes, "Thank you," and then turns around and runs off again. He's a bit distracted, but as you would be.
So do we head down or do we check this other tunnel?
So you can go forward into a corridor that bends left and right,
Mm-hmm.
or you can go backwards into another room.
I say we check the room out first.
Before we move, can I get Mouse to have a little sniff on all sections?
Could Mouse fit down here?
Is he looking for anything particular? Mouse can fit down. It's
Pretty wide.
It's pretty wide because it
Okay.
was home for a dragon. So
That's fair. That's fair.
Because obviously we know that there's a dragon down here,
somewhere
so
you'll have to have something to smell. So I mean, like you'll have to smell something to then know what you're looking for, or you'll have to look for something specific.
Can I ask the villager? It's like,
A village is
which is the correct way?
A village is gone already. He left, unfortunately. You're a little slow.
Obviously I think that Mouse has the smell of the villager on him.
Yeah.
So I get Mouse to try and smell.
Yep. Make a straight roll because you have disadvantage again, but it's still advantage, so it's still straight roll.
Oh, 8.
So
How much for that?
Mouse just sort of sniffs around and doesn't really know where to go, so he points in both directions at the same time, and then Bagheera and then Redicus goes and gives an almighty sigh because he fit it.
I've
like this.
left Saphira outside because
Yep.
I didn't think to bring her into the hall. I was just like,
Okay.
I would have left her outside not thinking about it. So
Okay. So she's not with you.
yeah, unfortunately not. If I'm going to be true to what I would have actually done, then
That's fair.
she's not with me.
No, that's fair.
And I can't contact her. It'd look a bit suspicious, a dragon just like pushing its way into the hall.
Yeah, it would be a little bit,
Yeah.
especially with all the goings on. And a village that just run up.
She's just
and-
in like shutdown mode at the moment, basically.
just sort of if you like cut to it, it'd just be very just in like a shutdown
Yeah.
mode. As the whole commotion's going on outside, as bone covers and
Yeah,
the villagers
wing-
describing the
wings.
story to the guards and saying the shaman's drunk.
She almost looks like a giant copper egg. Because she's like hunched over and her wings are like wrapped around her body, so she's got like this almost
cool.
egg shape where she's
Almost
like
like
wrapped
a-
in a.
almost like clockwork as they all
Yeah.
sort of slide round and form out an eggy shaped clockwork
Yeah.
machine that will sort of spread
Anyway, I suggest we check the room behind us then, rather than going down the two-way path. There's a one-way behind us. I think we should try there first, and then we've got a decision of which path we make. What does anybody else think?
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Is there like
Go ahead.
Excuse me. Are the tracks worn? Is the floor trodden?
Make a survival check, please. That's rare, actually. Never used that for a while.
Survival.
It's not your favourite terrain, is it?
Oh, it is. No, ice isn't.
No.
I'm advantageous, so 18.
Okay.
13 plus 5.
So you know that the corridor behind you is less trodden. Appears people do go in, but it's less frequent. From what you can sort of ascertain from this bit survival check and not going too far into the corridor that goes two ways, it seems that most of the tracks are in the corridors.
Okay.
Looping around. There are sometimes that people do go through, but less frequent. So you're probably safer to go in the room behind you rather than in this corridor, as Runespark has said.
I'd agree with that.
Okay, I'm gonna sort of head out in that direction then and start sort of scouting down in that way.
Yep. So as you begin to scout in the other room, you notice you feel like almost like a mist come through the caves in sort of a wave, and it begins to get quite foggy through the caves. It won't last that long, but it just makes it a bit more difficult to see. So quite thick. Won't seem to last long, just sort of like where the mist has gone through the caves and just making its way through.
Okay.
But you do notice that you see a lot of food supplies here. It's a lot of fish, whale, seal, walrus, all sort of skins.
Is it well preserved because of the cold?
Yes, it's very well preserved. It's almost edible. Like you can cut bits off now and eat it, and it seems to be some sort of larder of some kind.
So this is possibly a storage cavern for the village. Maybe, although it was hidden, so
it was hidden from the village, so you gather it's not for the village as such.
Did you say that out loud? As like
yeah, I'm like musing.
And are villagers? Do villagers normally have storehouses that contain ill people as well as food supplies?
No.
Having
true.
lived in the wild, I don't know. Is this a common thing amongst towns?
No, I don't think so. The villagers weren't hurting for supplies as far as I understood, and this was hidden. This wasn't general access.
A lot of the food here is quite big, so like I'm not talking we're talking like whale size.
This could be the dragon's larder.
Then perhaps we should move on, lest it thinks we are its next meal.
Can I do something?
Yes.
Can I use oil and light up those food? So basically burn them, it's like basically cooking them in some way.
Can do.
Before he does that,
Yeah.
can I get Mouse to smell it first?
It's fresh.
It's fresh. Can I get Mouse to smell it?
Yeah, it's fresh.
Okay.
No, you don't need to. Don't smell it. It's fresh.
It is fresh.
Yeah,
It's just,
yeah.
okay.
It's not poison.
It's not
like
poison.
everything else.
So
Mouse won't need to roll for that because he smell
Okay.
poisoned fish. He smell fish. He knows what's fresh and what's not.
Uh-huh.
The food is fresh and it's clean.
No, I'm just seeing if it gets a different scent except for just fish.
Oh no, it'll just be like whale, seal.
Okay.
It gets a lot of different scents.
Okay.
It's just a mix of different sea life animals really. Kept as food.
I was just wondering if, obviously, because in case the
No,
dragon's
yeah.
already been here, if it picks up the scent
Are
of the
you-
dragon or not.
Going to let you Monarch burn this?
As he like leans
As he
forward to
begins to
start
lean forward,
burning it,
lights
I basically lift up my staff and with the base of it just kind of push him back. Like, no, we don't know who owns this food. If it is the dragon, the last thing we need to do is piss it off. Youngsters today,
I just ignore
no sense of self-preservation.
Says Mervyn is 67 years of age, speaking some wisdom.
I just ignore
That's
him
alright.
and
I'm
try and keep
twice your
burning
age.
again.
Okay, make a I would say survival check as you try and burn.
What
Ron.
would it be to try and like just push him back slightly? Strength or
Strength, yeah. So strength contested would be a survival check.
I give him a hand.
Yep. So you have advantage.
I'm just gonna
So Mo has
keep
advantage.
blowing Mnemonic's torches out
Yep.
with prestidigitation.
Oh, that's cool.
God for
You- so you're like pulling them out.
No, every time he sparks, as
17.
soon as it lights, it's out.
Yeah.
17's pushing him
17.
away.
And then what's your survival check, you Monarch? Yeah, what's your
Survival. Sorry, just checking. 11.
Okay, so between you trying to light it, every time you try and light a match or manage to get some fire going, Runespark basically clicks his fingers and the flame dies. At the same time, Merwin's just getting the stick and is trying to basically succeed in pushing you out the way with the help of Arthur, and basically get the idea of trying to no one's gonna let you burn the food because it is a bad idea. Another wave of fog sort of rolls through. The fog sort of dissipates, and another fog blast comes through, and you feel like the cold air as it sort of comes through the cave. And
we need to keep moving. If we don't keep moving, we're gonna get stuck around here.
Okay, I'm gonna pull Mnemonic aside if he'll allow me, because obviously he's a lot stronger than I am.
It'll be you're not in a huge room,
and I'm just gonna just say quietly. I understand you want revenge, but until we find out whose food this is, I suggest we leave it. If we find out it's the dragons, we can burn it on the way out. But let's burn it on the way out, not on the way in.
Is this loud enough for the rest of us to hear?
Other people can hear. I'm not whispering.
Yeah,
but
I'm just
trying to.
The last thing we need is for that fire to spread to either cause damage to the buildings above or, worse, keep us trapped down here.
I'm just trying to reason with Mnemonics. I don't know if he'll accept that or not.
I don't know. Do you accept it, Mnemonic?
I just ignore and continue walk through the other path.
Okay.
So
I do say to him, it's like, we've been working together a long time. I would have thought you would accept what I've got to say, at least partially by now.
Yeah, I didn't disagree.
You just didn't say anything.
I just didn't say anything.
Okay.
I'm gonna kind of lean down to Runespark and just mutter, is he often like this?
Always.
You do know he has just lost his no name. His friend just got teleported away. So
yeah.
it's kind of
his his oldest friend. Us two are now the last
people.
Me and Fandering are
Fandering and Runespark.
Yeah.
Yeah. So which way are you going, Mnemonic? Because there is a path to your right and a path to your left. 2 corridors that lead to 2 different rooms. The one on the right looks a bit smaller.
So can you say that again?
There's a path on the right that looks a bit smaller, and there's a path on the left that leads to a sort of a larger room.
I go to the smaller room.
Okay, so as you might walk past you guys, by the way, you're in a room that's about 20 foot wide, so it's quite cramped.
That's fine.
And then you walk into, as you see, you might walk into the next corridor.
I'm going to watch his back. I'm going to follow him.
Okay.
I'll watch from afar as well.
I need both Runespark and Mnemonic to make a dexterity saving throw.
As I see them doing that,
That's
I
bad.
start walking towards left.
Left. Okay.
Can I see down to the ends of both corridors from where I'm stood at? I'm stood at where it splits off. So can I see down to the end?
You can see down to the end of the smaller room, but down to the end of the other the left room, you can't see because it's a bit of a larger room. You could see the smaller room.
Okay, sorry, slots do I have? In that case, I'm going to cast Find Traps.
Agility.
Yeah.
So find traps. Basically, I can sense the presence of any traps would be within line of sight. I don't know exactly where it is, but I learned that, I know that there is one there, and I know roughly what kind of danger it poses to me.
Okay, so it's not really a trap as such, but I'll allow it. It's more it's more like a sort of like a heavy hook that kind of activates swings down and basically knocks the wall, and then makes it sort of loose. So it's more of a shoot than a trap. But
do I add my dex modifier? Or do I add my proficiency?
Your dex modifier, and if you're proficient, dex, and if you're proficient in dex saves,
which I'm not.
So just your dex modifier.
Okay, 12.
What would you Monic's dex?
22.
Okay.
Not extras.
I need. So, we'll come back to Arthur. Never split the pie is a bad idea. You might die.
Yes.
You notice a sort of trap, and as you notice this, Runespark begins to. What's your monarch again? Sorry, you did tell me, and I just forgotten.
22.
22. So your monarch is fine, and as you sort of reach this area, you see like the edge of this room is really cold, and the floor sort of twists, and there looks like a bottomless pit below you. You see the heavy iron hook as it swings down as you step on the ice chutes. It hits the wall and sort of shakes it enough, and unfortunately you don't manage to grope in time and begin to slide down into this pit. We'll come back to. You drop 60 foot and you land on some sort of like heavy platform. Bit of ice dust appears, and you do take 3d6 bludgeoning damage, which I just roll for you now, which is 5 plus 4, 9, 10, 11 points of bludgeoning damage. I need you to make another dexterity saving throw.
Jesus.
So would it just be? Would me and Thunderin have seen all of this?
You would have seen Runespark fall, and you would have seen Monarch struggling, and then managed to grab on with his claws at the last second and climb himself back up.
Was that 11 points? Sorry.
11 points of damage, and you also need to make another.
I'm just going to lean heavily on my staff, and like this time muttering to Thunderin. I seem to do that a lot. I'm just like, is this your first cave?
You'd think so.
Dungeon? Because no offense, but some of you seem like amateurs.
19.
I think it is maybe Arthur's first cave like this.
Yeah,
13.
Yeah.
That's enough.
19.
19 is enough for the second one. So you're just sat on this. You're prone, but you're on this ice platform. You haven't fallen off any further.
Okay.
You
How
can
deep?
see. You're 60 feet down. You can see Monarch above you. And if you look down by the pillar, you can you're kind of like another 20 feet away from the floor.
Can I do something? Because obviously I see.
Yeah.
I see some people drop down.
You see.
Obviously I'm still using my claw. Can I slowly try to get down, but using my claw kind of like hold it down?
Yeah, I'd say that's possible. You can get to the ice platform, just slide down on your claws because you're a tabaxi, so you've got climbing skills. You basically just sort of slide down, jump back off the ice platform, and you're next to Runespark. The other two are back in the other room. Fandarin and Merrin are back in the other room. And then coming back to Arthur. You've just walked into a room with...
If he says dragon.
Did you how many feet
6
down?
ice toads.
6 ice
You're
toads.
60 feet down now.
As in, no, how much further down?
Oh, another 20 feet down.
Another 20 feet.
To ground
Okay.
floor. You're on some
I'm
sort
going to
of
get my
pillar.
hemp rope out then, and I'm just going to, like, if I need to, I'll hammer a pitting into the floor, and I'm just going to attach it so I've got something to climb down with, because I am not a good climber.
Okay, that's fair. So you managed to do that and set that ready. What is Arthur doing now? He's come across 6 ice toads.
Are they in front of me?
Yeah, they're in the room, sort of hopping about. They are big. They're not small at all. They're like
They're
one
big.
side to you is like
Okay.
bigger than you, and you've got 6 of them there.
Okay, I'll walk backwards and go back to the group.
Okay, as you walk backwards, an ice turns to you and begin to start hopping towards you. And they're all coming in sort of a line, hopping one after you. You're being chased by ice toads.
Okay, I straight away hop onto line and run away. I'm sure.
Which way you going?
Well,
You're going
back to where we were going. So if anything,
to
they'll
number
have
6.
to form in a straight line to go against me.
Do you say anything? Do you shout anything?
No, I just ride. I'm just like, ah!
Okay, so at this moment, you just see Arthur jump on Mouse, run back into the room you're in, and with the commotion, begin to see one ice toad hop out, another ice toad hop out, into the same room you're in. Bear in mind, Runespark and you Monarch 60 feet down in the next room.
Right, I am going to...
What are you guys doing?
As I can only do this on 3 of us, there are 4 of us, if you count Mouse. I'm going to cast Enhance Ability with Cat's Grace on all 3 I'm not going to say humans because any of us. You're human.
I'm human.
Are you
He's
human? What are you?
Wood elf. Wood elf.
You're a wood elf.
Yeah.
On the 3 humanoids with Cat's Grace, so that's advantage on dexterity checks, and you don't take damage from falling 20 feet or less.
Okay. Yep.
And then I'm just going to say towards the hole now.
Okay. Yep.
Can I look at the hook? Is the hook still swinging? Is it?
It's swinging,
at risk?
and as it's swinging, it's coming out, hits the wall, and sort of shakes it, and
Okay.
comes back, hits the wall. You won't hit the hook
Yeah.
to jump down, but
That's what
if
we're
you
not, we're
walked
not
along
at
it,
risk.
you would fall. Yeah.
Right. I'm going to need DM's approval for this.
Yeah.
I want to jump down the hole, but
Yep.
as I'm falling, I want to cast Grasping Vine up to try and catch me.
Try and catch you.
I don't know if that
How's
would work.
if you read the spell mechanics, and I'll see if it works for me.
Grasping Vine. Conjure a vine that sprouts from the ground in an unoccupied space of your choice that you can see within range. The range is 30 feet,
Yeah.
so I'd have to free fall a bit of the way.
Yeah.
When you cast this spell, you can direct the vine to lash out at a creature within 30 feet of it that you can see. That creature must succeed on a dex saving throw or be pulled 20 feet directly towards the
That's
vine.
okay. The way I'd do it is you
If I'm
have
doing
to.
it for my own personal
Yeah.
catching, like if
But
I was trying to
I'd-
catch myself.
Yes, I would say that's possible, but because of the fact you're falling at the same time, I would make you roll a dex save against yourself.
Okay.
Just because you've got a free fall of it and cast a spell, it's quite difficult to do all at once. So you've got to try and.
With the Cat's Grace thing, so
You would
because
still
we don't take
have,
damage from falling 20 feet or less if we aren't incapacitated, so would that mean that we start taking the full damage after that 20
yes, so you
feet
take
of no damage?
1d6 for 10 feet of bludgeoning damage.
And
No, 60 feet. 60 feet down. So you'd take
3d6.
3d6.
Yeah.
Thank you.
3d6.
3d6, okay.
Yeah.
But you can try that, and if you succeed your dex save against yourself, then perfectly fine will
If
work.
I see
Concerns,
this
I have
happening,
literally
I'm
just
going down the
noticed-
rope.
I have just
Yeah.
noticed.
You throw down the.
I'm going down the rope. Like
Okay,
I've
so you
hammered
slide
in
down
this-
the rope.
I have to admit this because it would be unfair
Yeah.
not to. Grasping Vine and Enhanceability are both concentration, so I can't have them both
Oh,
running
that's
at the
very
same
true.
time.
That's very
Can't
true.
have them both running at
You
the same
could
time.
definitely do that. It would be interesting for me, but not for you.
In that case, I am going to just keep Enhanceability going and just jump.
Yep, that's fair. For the record, I would have allowed that to try and catch yourself, but it would have been a roll.
Yeah, and these two would have lost the Cat's Grace anyway,
Yes, yeah,
so I'd
exactly.
rather they had it.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Also, you're going to have to make a concentration save when you hit the bottom
You would, yeah.
because
Okay.
you'll take damage.
It will. I mean, it depends if he makes a dex save or not.
Do you need me to make a dex save?
Well,
then?
yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry,
yeah. So
I
you
did
need to make
something.
a dex saving throw.
Do I have advantage? Is it the
You
same as
do.
a dex check then?
Yes, you have advantage.
Yeah, advantage.
I give you
That
advantage.
means these two have advantage.
They
when
do,
drop
they
as
do.
Well. Assuming they jump at the same time as me, and I pass everything.
So how big is the room that I'm in at the moment? Just wondering.
It is 15 feet by 20 feet, and with 6 ice toads.
15 feet by 20 feet.
You can get like 2 ice toads against you. It's not something you want to risk.
So 2 or 2.
Well, I've already
Me
got.
and Mouse versus 6 ice toads.
I've got a 17.
17. Yeah, so that's fine. So you managed
So
to.
do I have to still make the concentration?
No, I wouldn't say
No.
that because it's high enough to do it. So you sort of roll and you sort of do sort of a roll as you land and sort of manage to keep the concentration check up just enough for Fandrin to jump down, make another dex
Okay.
With advantage.
throw with advantage. Dex save and throw. Yeah, so Fandrin's making a dex save and throw with advantage. Moen's landed safely and managed to roll and
Roll again.
be
It's
fine.
on advantage.
Tricky.
That's
Oh,
better.
18 plus 7.
So the advantage is
5.
help. So you managed to again land, sort of roll and sort of Ridicus managed to jump down with ease. He's
Just-
a panther.
I'm
Out
gonna
of
shout.
curiosity, what was the DC for that?
17.
Oh,
Okay.
So like
I'm gonna
Moen
shout.
barely made it.
I'm
Well,
going
I
to
am an
shout,
elbow.
Arthur, get down here.
What are you doing? Because if you can fight the toads if you want, but
It was quite fun.
what would your character do in reality?
Well, my character has honour. There's your answer.
Yeah, but
Is it honourable to fight?
you interpret it how you want.
6
That's your
toads?
character.
Yeah.
I mean, I would have definitely fought them if I was gallantry. I'll tell you that. Especially I have one called Death to Cowards. But yeah, I'm gonna go down as well.
Okay.
So are you on mouse?
He is.
Just
So
to
mouse
bear
has
in
to make
mind,
the dex
mouse
save.
Yep.
doesn't
No,
have.
I'm not on mouse.
You're not a mouse.
No,
I thought
I'm
you
going
rode.
down.
I thought you rode mouse out past the
Well, I'll
toes.
jump off and then I'll jump up.
Okay.
Okay, then that's fine.
Bear in mind, mouse doesn't have
So,
the enhanced ability
make-
on him.
Mouse is a cat, so I'll tell him.
But also make 2 dex saving throws. One for
One of them with advantage.
mouse, and then your one with advantage. So Arthur with advantage, and then mouse without advantage.
What am I doing? Dex save.
Dex save.
On my favourite guys.
I'm getting my dice ready, guys.
What's at the bottom of this?
So at the bottom of the
What's in this new room that have I managed to climb down?
you meant to climb down. It's not too far to climb down. So Runespark's at the bottom of these
What's mouse?
of this pillar, and you notice there's some more ice pillars across this in this room that sort of go up about 20 feet. There seems to be a fair few. And that's all it seems to be. So just like ice pillars in this area.
Okay.
There seems to be a wide sort of area and sort of like a massive cabinet.
Is there anyone else down here with me yet? Is Mnemonic down here with me?
Eumonoc's down with you now.
Okay.
How far down was the next
No
section?
one else
sorry?
is there.
20 feet. See,
And then, but there is a rope there.
there is a
already,
rope. There is a rope.
which you can
with
climb down,
buttons.
which Runespark's
Okay.
is set up, so you can climb down the rope if you want.
I'm just gonna jump. I'm just gonna jump. I know
you're-
I know how my spell works, so I know I wouldn't take
advantage as well.
any harm from it. So I'll just. It's a weird sight seeing this rather elderly half orc with holding a wooden walking stick just jump
Kind
over
of
a 20
the
feet
way,
ledge.
it's probably not the way you imagine it, but the way I imagine it is like Mary Poppins with his
just
walking stick,
gracefully-
just gracefully like falling down.
I got 17
Yep.
with advantage. Mouse got 18 without advantage.
Okay, fair enough.
Mouse is such a beast. He is
Um,
the beast.
So you managed to sort of land down. You sort of managed to roll. Mouse managed to roll, and you sort of make it down fairly easily. Mouse has not got 20 feet to go, so you need to make another dex for. You can make it. Arthur can make it down safely.
Ooh, natural 20, Mouse!
So Mouse just jumps up again, and you sort of, as you sort of floating down, you see Mouse, this lion, just jump past you and land in front of you as you land to the ground. A few seconds later, you see Arthur finally climb down.
I look up to Arthur, look back down to Mouse, and I say this quite loudly. I think, how have you idiots not got yourselves killed yet?
And as you look back up, you see some
I can
ice
heal
toads.
people.
And as you look back up, you see some ice toads looking over the edge, just like, okay. Like,
You see the gnome waving from the bottom. It's like, I can heal people, and yeah, I need to do that a lot.
Yes, I'm a little concerned about my own magical reserves. I think they're going to get quite depleted around you all.
that's the wrong dice. I rolled the wrong dice.
I'm gonna wait at the bottom. I'm just gonna sort of keep an eye out, just sort of almost guard the area. Do you know what I mean?
That's, yeah, to wait
Maybe
everyone to
heal
catch up.
yourself as well.
As you're doing this, you see a figure walking between the ice caves, walking in your direction quite hurriedly. Is a humanoid figure. And then Mern would notice that she has a symbol of the Arcane Brotherhood.
Is that a good aligned
They-
organisation or a bad?
They're an alliance that you were sent. So the part of information you've had before, they're an alliance, which you were sent to find information about. Where you knew they're another faction working against the cult, and you were told that they're perhaps looking in this area before. It was part of your mission statement when Moen was sent to the village.
Should really have got you to just give me the exact mission statement.
Yeah.
So working against the cult sent.
That was just I did mention it, but I think I just paraphrased it there. And she's like, you guys here to kill me? Or are you here to save me?
You're with the Arcane Brotherhood. I was here
Yes.
to find you.
And she goes, well, who are you from? You're not
I'm.
Arcane Brotherhood.
I will show her the sigil of like the Queen of Waterdeep.
And she
Or
goes,
symbol.
and I'm gonna show him my
badge
tattoo
or
as well. Like,
yep, so
I do the same
show him the
thing
tat
with
of the
us,
guilds,
I
you
see.
show him the signet,
I've got
you show him the harped tat.
He does nothing.
You doesn't want to show him his
Glow.
down.
He's just gonna glower.
No, I'm just looking at him.
Yeah. So you look and she goes, it's a woman and she's in sort of a robe, like a purplish
Human woman?
robe. She's human or humanoid as far as you can tell.
Okay.
She's got a hood up.
Okay.
She's got long sort of aubany hair, so sort of like reddish brownish hair.
Mm-hmm.
It appears to be way past shoulder length, but you can't really see because of the robes.
Okay.
She seems to have been here for quite some time. She goes, I'm a calf. And she says, you've got to be careful. There's trolls in this area. You're better off moving to a nearby area. But this is quite dangerous. How did you manage to make your way down to here?
By accident.
Dragon's Lair.
Magic.
We fell.
Quite literally magic.
Skills.
What was the name? Sorry.
Macaf. So her name is
MAC.
MACCATH. She goes, keep your voice down and follow me. I need everyone to make a stealth roll with advantage.
Can I
she's leading you.
cast Cloud Fog?
Yep, you can cast Cloud Fog and everyone gets bonus to stealth, I believe.
Fog Cloud first level, sorry.
Fog Cloud.
I
What?
got best roll.
What's the bonus? Is it?
I'll just get Fallon to read that out for you.
It's a 20-foot radius of a sphere of fog that spreads around corners that's heavily obscured.
Okay, I'll just load a DC in that case. You've all got advantage because Macaf's leading you.
And I was about to say that technically stealth is a dex check, so
It
we'd
is.
have the advantage.
So
from
you would have
enhancements.
advantage still. Yes,
Yeah.
you would.
Sounds good. Advantage anyway.
Yeah.
17.
17? Yeah, that's good.
For me it is.
Stealth.
Oh, for Runespark, it's
Well,
very
because
good.
I changed my armour, didn't I?
Oh, yes, very true.
So that I didn't get
That was shit.
bloody
Advantage.
disadvantage.
That's 17.
That's good.
I haven't checked what my stealth is.
Your dex.
Dex. Advantage, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
I needed that.
Roll for mouse as well.
Plus. I got 19.
Yeah.
Does Mouse get advantage with that?
Yep.
Okay.
Everyone gets advantage because they're above Macaf.
I don't need to do advantage. 19 plus 6.
Do you want to roll to see if you get
25.
critical? Did not get critical.
You can only get so
20,
many.
17 plus
Well, Mouse is already
20.
done a natural 20. So it's fine.
Founder 21. What is you, Monarch's stealth roll?
28.
Oh, so you're all fine. So you're all fine, and Macaf actually leads you into. She's going to lead you into somewhere that's a little bit safer.
This is when you can't actually find a safer room in the module.
It's difficult. So you see Macaf like think for a bit, like what's the safest place I can take you. She takes you round sort of the left of the ice pillars. You begin to see two corridors that separate round some icy sort of cavern rock with like the light sort of glistening. You can see behind it a massively quite a bit away, but it's a massive open area. She takes you down the right path and takes you about a quarter way down and goes, we'll be safe here for a bit, but do not move any further. There is a trap up ahead, and if you activate it, you will alert the white dragon.
What kind of trap is it? Is it magical?
It's a stink cloud.
Okay.
So it's not magical
Is-
as such, but it's
Is it mechanical,
mechanical.
or mechanical?
So you step.
Can I
into-
inspect it?
She goes, you can, but be careful. And she goes, but before you go, I'm not going to give you any more information until you guys make a deal with me. Information's saved me so far.
Yep.
Sorry.
Right, so as you all manage to make your way down to the bottom of the ice pillars, you see a figure sort of approaching you. She comes up to you and goes, Myron will notice this is an Arcane Brotherhood sigil, which you'd be aware of as part of your mission statement coming into the village. And then it's a woman with aubany hair. It's quite long. She's wearing sort of a full thick robe, so you can't really see how long the hair is. She's humanoid, palish skin. And she goes, what are you guys doing here? Are you here to kill me? Or are you here to save me? I suppose it doesn't matter.
You're the Arcane Brotherhood, so save you. We'll go with save you.
Well, who are you?
I'm going to hold out the symbol of the Queen of Waterdeep and just say, I was your rescue party. I can't tell if we're stuck down here now. There's some ice toads at the top.
I'm gonna hold out my forearm tattoo and show her my guild affiliation.
Yep.
And I'll do the same with my Harper's tattoo.
I say I'm from the Queen. I'm with the Queen as well, and hold.
Yep. So between the Council of Waterdeep sigils, you might doing nothing.
I'm just looking at her.
Founder and Runespark sharing their sigils. She goes, "Oh, well, come with me. It's not safe here." I need everyone to roll stealth. As she begins to.
Can I cast Fog Cloud as we?
Yep, you may.
And enhanceability still, I think, I don't actually know how long it lasts. Enhanceability.
It'll still be active.
It lasts an hour, so it'll still be going for the three of us. But
any modifiers do we get?
No, you all get advantage though. From the fog cloud, from McCaffrey leading you, that's definitely enough for advantage.
Yes.
And that was needed for Runespark.
At 20. Yeah. With the advantage though.
Yeah,
But I'll take the nat 20.
Oh no.
that's
your-
18.
There's 6.
It's a group check, so it should be okay.
I'm not going to roll a second time for Mouse because he's got a natural 20 again.
What is it with Mouse and natural? Why is the lion getting
He's
the
the
natural
sneakiest
20s?
lion.
I've got
9
17, so
lives.
Mouse, he gets a +6 on stealth as well. So he's on 26.
I might as well wild shape into lions from now on. Just spend the entire campaign as a lion rather than a druid.
I don't think that will quite work for everyone, but anyway, McCaff managed to lead you around the ice pillars. He leads you to round sort of the left side, where away from the open area of the ice pillars, and seems to be a maze between the ice pillars. There is 2 branches onto the left, and at the end of these branches, about 100 feet down, is a massive open area. You can't quite see what's there just at the moment. McCaff leads you to part way down the right hand corridor. She goes, "Nobody move. The area nearby is trapped by a mechanical stink cloud. It's pretty dangerous." And she goes, "But before you go on, information has saved me so far. So perhaps a trade. Information for my safety."
We're here to guarantee your safety anyway.
Are you still here?
What was that, you Monarch?
Just happy to be alive.
Okay. Moen says, "Here for safety anyway." And she goes, "Well, perhaps something more. The dragon keeps a lot of Arcane Brotherhood scrolls and magical items that we could do with getting back. So if you could help me procure some of them to take back."
My ears perk up at magical items.
And I'm assuming he's hoarding all this.
The dragon is hoarding.
Yeah, the dragon is
Yeah,
hoarding
he's
all
been
this,
hoarding
which is
all magical items.
Gonna grab my attention. I don't like it when magical items are kept for own selfish.
And she explains that he's obsessed with trying to get these magical scrolls and these magical items for his mate, the White King, the White Queen. Avarel. AVA. EREL. She's not in the same cave, but
Can I just quickly ask, do you know what type of magical item it is? There are
scrolls. She thinks there's some magical.
Specific sort.
She doesn't know what scrolls.
Weapons or...
So she's been deciphering. It's a mix of scrolls and weapons and stuff, but she's been trying to decipher the magical items. So she's not too sure what they are. And the reason she's been trapped down here for so long, she explains to you, is that the dragon's basically forced her. He's stopping her leaving, and he's forcing her. It's allowed free roam in this lair bit, but she has to translate the documents. Translate some magical books as well. There's some old scrolls going back to ancient times about legendary items.
Would
and
I know
weapons.
what powers a white dragon has? Like what kind of breath?
Make nature roll.
Nature with advantage, or
I would say straight because they're not really wild animals, but they are. It wouldn't be a difficult DC, I'd say.
never mind. 7.
Oh, no.
So much for that.
What was the name of the dragon that lives in this cave?
The dragon that lives in this cave is
Arathator, I've got.
Yeah, Arathator.
I don't know if I spelled it
Arauth. I think ATOR. I'm doing that from memory, guys. Just so you know.
Okay.
Well, I didn't have the U, but close enough.
Yeah, that's fine.
So you know the schedule of the White Dragon then? You know, like when he's
Dragons
gonna do
keep
stuff.
schedules? I wasn't aware that they were in the habit of punctuality.
So she goes, my name's McCaff. Yeah, MACCATH. She goes, I was from the Arcane Brotherhood. He tends to keep to his lair himself. But I wouldn't alert your presence. He's very powerful, and I wouldn't underestimate him at all.
Well, from what I understand, he, and I'm pointing to you, Monarch here, isn't the best at following that kind of advice. He's going to charge in there and get himself killed at this rate.
And then I said to Moncav, like, we already killed one of the dragon.
Did you kill a dragon?
We didn't kill a dragon.
So make a deception roll then, please, you Monarch. I'm just trying to remember if they've actually killed a dragon in the campaign. I
I'm
don't
going to
think
be
they
fooled
have.
by this because I wouldn't know that they hadn't killed a
No,
dragon.
no.
Everyone else.
He needs to make a deception roll though.
As my other character.
19.
Okay, McCaff's gonna roll.
Natural 20.
Um,
Considering I would at least know dragons are hard to take down.
yes, you can make a. It would be perception.
Perception.
I'll do the same as well.
No, insight. Sorry, insight.
Insight.
Thank you. It would be insight.
My rolls are terrible
Oh,
today.
no, that
That's
was
a
awful.
9.
Oh dear.
Well,
You.
well, for myself, I've been
I'm
bad.
keeping
I
a
wish I was
blank
mouse
face.
Right now.
Yep. So you give a blank face.
I'm
Founder
just
and said
not saying
nothing.
anything.
McCaff gives an
Look,
That's
really
what
smart to
happens.
go.
an almost
18.
blank face.
18.
Unfortunately, that's not enough, so you're not aware either. So as far as you know, you might have killed a dragon. McCaff's not.
Not just me, the team. The whole team killed it. Because I don't want to sound like
So
I killed it.
sorry. I'm still slightly in disbelief over this because I even
But
with
but you're not aware he's lying.
yeah,
so.
I'm not worried. Like, I accept that he's telling the truth. I'm just surprised by it. So, a cat, a gnome, and a wood elf,
And an Aarakocra.
and an Aarakocra.
Which you would know is a rare sort of bird person.
You knew an Aarakocra to begin with, and you took out a dragon.
It's a long story. I'm rubbing my face and I'm just like, it's a long story.
Well,
But for the viewers, actually, Fandarin did fire a cannon at a dragon once.
Right at the beginning of the game.
Yes, I did.
Anyway, so
Well, they are heroes. They are known as being heroes of killing and retrieving the first mask.
you might have convinced the party.
Okay, so it is
Okay.
possible, my friend, that we
That's
have
probably
got
not
them
a good
killed. They have got them
We've got them killed.
Well, we've
I
probably
really
got them
hope
killed
we
anyway.
haven't got them killed.
It's not a
I
full
I've
lie.
nearly got everyone killed anyway.
It's a
we,
half truth.
we were hired by the Council of Waterdeep for a reason.
So most of the party is playing into this anyway.
This is not good stuff.
McCaff goes, well, I'm not going to help you fight a dragon, but if you can get some arcane Brotherhood back, perhaps I can find a safe passage out. As long as you take me with you, with some arcane Brotherhood stuff, and I can take back.
That would suggest that you already know a way out.
Maybe.
Inside.
Making an inside joke.
Can I inside check that as well?
Oh, finally, 16. That's
I
a
didn't get
semi-decent roll.
12.
I've never used insight. Hang on.
You seriously never
Wisdom.
used it?
So wisdom.
Ooh, 16.
That's not bad.
Nice.
That's quite high.
I got 16 as well.
Yep.
Just 7 for me.
Yep.
12.
She's telling the truth. So her maybe is, I do, but I'm not telling you unless I want to
I'm a
trade.
little, sorry,
Of course.
I know I'm a
Of course
little
you do.
brain fuddled because I jump in and out sessions. What is our exact mission here?
So the council of Waterdeep has sent you here to find information about the Drakhorn.
The Dracon.
Whether
Right,
there'll be information about that in the works, you don't know.
That's fine. I knew the broad reason why we were here.
You're not here
but
to kill
I
the
was-
dragon.
Meanwhile, my own mission was different because I was sent to look
Yes.
for her.
Your mission, so Merwin's mission, was to look for McCaff and try and see if you could make a deal with the arcane Brotherhood, as they'll be valuable allies later on. So that was Moen's mission, which is different from the rest of the party.
I'm going to propose a counter offer. We will retrieve as much information of the Arcane Brotherhood's property from the dragon as is possible to do safely, and in exchange you will show us the way out and accompany us back to the Council of Waterdeep to discuss an alliance with them against the dragon cult.
Make a persuasion roll with advantage, because that's quite a good deal.
No, thank God it's advantage.
I know.
I am really bad.
That was really bad.
I am not having much luck. I'm going to try a different d20 see if that is 15.
Yeah,
That's definitely higher than my 10. So
Can I ask her if she's heard of the Drakhorn or if she's got any information?
okay. So she agrees with Mo and says, "Okay, deal. That sounds like a really good deal." And then she begins to open up a bit more to Runespark as you asked a question after they made that deal. She goes, "Well, I'm aware of the Drakhorn. I'm aware of its powers, and we have some very interesting information in the Dragon's Lair. There's a book on summoning tools, and we believe this is one of them."
In your studies here. Sorry, Ron, go ahead.
What's the book do?
The book's just it just basically is literally a book about summoning. It's not like it tells you about different items that would create summoning, basically, or allow creatures to be created, etc. I imagine this rings a bell to you, Monarch, and his backstory, to be fair.
Okay.
Does she believe in her studies that she's had here that we would be able to disrupt the Drakhorn from here, as in disrupt its power?
She doesn't believe the Drakhorn's here anymore.
Oh, really?
So she goes, it used to be here, used to be powerful, and now it's gone. And she's not sure where it's gone, but
that
or
must
what
have been
exactly
recently.
it was
Relatively recently.
It was recently, but she goes, but no more until I get more property. So she's been quite vague with the items. She's given you enough items to show that she knows.
I'm going to eye her slightly suspiciously because, like,
make another insight check.
she is being extremely cagey, and we've already promised her safety regardless of whether she helps. So
Can I just add to that as well?
I've got to go. It's got a bit.
I mentioned.
Side. It's enough.
18.
Well,
21.
Natural 20.
And I got 21, so technically beats it, but it's a crit.
Yeah, I know. But what you can tell though is she's being cagey, but she is being forthright with you.
Okay.
She knows her information, but she doesn't want to reveal it all until you give her some concrete information, because the items of the Brotherhood seem more important to her than her own safety.
Okay.
That's how invested she is.
Can I go and inspect the trap then?
Yep, you may.
Cool.
She goes, be careful.
I won't. Look. I'm a professional tinkerer.
Of this group, I'd say he is probably the
make a
least
investigation check.
foolhardy.
Cool. Do I get advantage because of my tinkering and alchemy and all
I would
that?
say add your proficiency for the tinkering tools. On top of whatever the roll is.
I'm not actually like trying to disable it at the moment. I just want to inspect
it.
it.
No, yeah,
check
yeah.
its...
But add your proficiency to that.
Okay.
But I'll give you advantage because Kath told you about it.
Okay.
And that's needed. That did not work.
I got... Hang on. Sorry. I got... So was that 6, 11... I got 14 with all my bonuses.
Okay.
Not as bad as I thought it was going to be. I rolled a 6, by the way, but I added 5 and my proficiency.
Yep.
Which is 3.
That's... Like, you don't really need to see that much. It's less of a trap and more just there. So as you approach like the narrow corridor, you wouldn't have to really... As soon as you walk through it, you would alert the dragon.
Okay.
It's not... There's no real way to avoid it unless you go around it or back through the other corridor.
Do I believe I could disarm it?
It's definitely possible. It would be a very difficult thing to do.
Okay.
But it is possible.
Actually, Mnemonic, would you like to inspect this trap?
And I look at it. I got.
Doesn't sound good.
Eumonica is not sure.
I got thief tool. I don't know if that helped.
I mean, you'd add your.
Disabling a trap
It would
would be
help.
like disabling a
Yeah,
security
yeah.
system.
I just thought that thieves had proficiency on the.
They do. They do. You would have proficiency on disarming it, I guess.
Okay, and yeah, I guess I say to guys like, I guess I can try, but
I just inspect it. Don't try and disarm it yet.
yeah, can I just trying to figure out like more the mechanic and all this stuff behind it?
Yeah, so make a investigation roll and add your proficiency. Did Fano want to do something a second ago?
No, actually, as
Well-
character, I was going to say, if she's so intense on, if she knows where an exit is, why hasn't she used that exit sooner?
Oh, okay.
But you can't explain that she's
The Arcane Brotherhood
yeah.
stuff from what Runespark gathered is more important to her than
Anything else?
Yeah.
than
If she
anything else.
exited though,
Yeah.
go and get reinforcements. Come back.
She feels if she
Still a
leaves
dragon.
and comes back, she's not got her eye on the Brotherhood's materials, so he could easily take it and move it. You see,
That's all. Yeah, it's what.
Is
just to give you an idea.
This is actually back in character now.
Yep.
Is the dragon guarding the Arcane Brotherhood's artifacts round the clock? Is there any time where it's left
doesn't leave.
unattended?
He doesn't leave his lair. He's always in his lair.
And is that where all the Arcane Brotherhood material
Yes.
is?
Yeah, and all the as he tells you, so McCaff tells you all the Arcane Brotherhood material is there. You, Monarch, what was your roll?
Can you say that again?
What
Plus what?
was your investigate? Oh, plus your proficiency.
Which should be +3.
Did you say invest? Is it?
Yeah, I'd say investigation plus your proficiency.
I got 15 plus 5, so 20.
That's enough. So you can tell that like the little like sort of stones at the bottom, and as soon as you sort of kick one of the stones, it'll pull like a little string, and this string will rip like sort of almost like a stink bomb, sort of rip out out of a bag sort of thing, and sort of open this bag to release some like poisonous spores. They're not really less poisonous spores, but more like smelly spores. But the release of the spores would obviously make like a cloud, and that would be enough to alert the dragon.
Is there a way that I can take out those smelly
If you're careful,
the bag?
you can cut the like the strings from the like where there's a rock tied to the bag with a string. You can cut the string if you're careful and not open the bag. So keep it sealed, but you've got to be careful when you cut the rocks.
Yeah, can I mean, obviously I explained to everyone, say, okay, this is how it works. I mean, I just kind of suggesting to take off those bags, so even that we trigger, the things, the trap, it still do nothing. I mean, we can make it less as possible than making less thing. What do you guys think?
So let me just double check I've got this right. It's triggered by some stones attached to strings that.
Yeah, so if you basically rip out the almost like imagine like the string as a belt. If you kick the rock, it'll basically rip it out from the end of the bag and open up.
Is there much space between the individual rocks? Like, could a small mammal get through it?
A small mammal could,
rat?
but a rat would definitely fit. But if you were like any sort of humanoid creature or a cat or something, you'd probably end up hitting a couple of the rocks in the way. If you there is ways of cutting it to keep the rope and the string tight enough to not release so many spores.
I mean, if I was to help Mnemonic with my tinkering tools, would that give him advantage?
It
at all?
would definitely give him advantage.
Okay,
So you can
I'll
help.
ask Mnemonic if he wants to attempt it, and would he like my help? If not, I suggest we just leave it and go around it.
I say to the
we
group,
go
I'm
around,
just like,
there's no other way around.
There is another way round, back round the other path. It might not be as safe because you didn't take you that way. But you can definitely go walk around the other way, around the other path.
I say to the whole group, I'm just like, honestly, we haven't been to the other side, and if we were to encounter anything before we encounter the dragon, and if the dragon does find out that we're here and we get hurt from beforehand, I mean, everyone's going to be at a risk when we fight a dragon anyway. I mean, I understand that you guys have fought against the dragon already, and you're well experienced with it, but I think we should take this risk and we should go forward instead of taking the long way around.
Whilst he's talking,
Yep.
I'm going to take my staff, plant it firmly in front of me, and as I plant it against the ground, the carving of the rat that's engraved into my staff glows, and a spectral form grows out and then shrinks down, encompassing my body, and then I shrink down into the form of a rat.
Yep, your armor merges with you at the same time, and you're now everyone else just sees your druid friend just sort of merge and change shape. Ridicus sort of turns around, sees the druid thing there, and sort of just steps back and gives a jump back because he's just in a rat, and he's sort of looking at you, not like he wants to eat you, but like what?
I squeak at it. I squeak at him.
Just like that.
I'm gonna go back to the way we came. Not like go back, but like to the entrance to where we've just gone down this tunnel, and I'm just gonna keep a lookout. I'm just gonna keep an eye out.
Make a perception roll for me, please.
Nat 20.
So you do notice there's a bunch of so there's 2 aquatic trolls.
Okay.
Which they look kind of like similar, like normal trolls, but they got kind of like gills and a bit of like fins. And you do see a bunch of kobolds walking about as well.
Okay, I'm gonna like whisper this information down the line. So whoever's closest to me, I'll tell them that information so that they can pass it on. And I will say, keep quiet, and then let them know about the trolls and the kobolds.
Yeah, so I would like to point out, although I'm wild shaped,
Yeah.
my concentration spell remains active until.
Yep.
Has an hour passed yet since I cast it?
Not quite. No.
Not quite. Okay, so that enhanceability is still going on, so we've still got
Yep.
advantage to the dex saves and stuff. I'm going to weave through the stones
Yep.
to avoid setting up the trap and just go on ahead slightly, trying to keep quiet, but at the same time behaving in a similar way to your average rat, I guess. But to see
make a stealth roll. If I'm not, I was like, or deception, whatever's higher for you.
Performance.
It would be stealth because stealth has advantage.
I was like, was it deception? Was it performance, or is it stealth?
Stealth has +3 and
Yeah, I was gonna say it depends on if there's actually anyone there to see him. So.
Yeah.
That's 11 + 3. That is 4 + 3. 11 + 3 is 14.
No, that's enough.
Oh, hang on, I'm using my own stealth.
Oh, you got to use your rat's
Yeah, so
dex.
that is the wrong creature.
So it's +2. So still
No, it's
13.
+0, so
+0.
it would have been 11.
11. Still enough.
Still enough.
I rolled poorly, especially considering like
Yeah, I need to
the
remember I'm
wisdom.
using my own physical stats, but keeping my mental stats.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes,
use-
I can bite 1 piercing damage. So
Yeah.
much.
Nibble.
Yeah, but you're a rat, so like it's enough to get through. And then as you approach the other side, you see sitting on top of a massive ice cube. Inside that ice cube has got like some like glistening items. Appears to be some books in the ice cube. And you see on top of it an mean-looking adult white dragon with a long spindly nose, little whiskers coming out, a longish sort of body that sort of curls back on itself. I'm kind of thinking like Mushu style, but ginormous, and
And white.
other dragons are available.
Is it a bit like the
Like a Chinese dragon
Is it
kind
like,
of style, Oriental dragon.
the river spirit in
Is it never
Yes.
story?
Yeah, I was
No,
thinking about that as
Spirited
well.
Away.
Spirited Away.
Kind of like all them, like a mix of those three.
Because
and then,
that's
like,
that's the
adult
image
and-
I was getting.
So,
Yeah, it's my kind of like image.
I don't know what's happening to him, but I'm just like, I whisper to Runespark, I'm just like, how many do you see?
GM, how many do I see? I see 2 trolls.
So you see 2 trolls, and you saw about 6 kobolds.
That's sorry. I whispered back. I say about. I see 2 trolls at the moment and about 6 kobolds.
You don't know if there's more or not, or you can't really tell.
Right then, we'll stand down for the moment. It's too dangerous to move out.
And I say to the guys, I say to everyone, come on, we need to do this or not. People behind us, we need us to do it or not, because we can't go back. If we go back, the dragon's going to know that we're still going to die. We're going to roll the dice this time.
I will assist Mnemonic if he wants to attempt to disarm the trap.
Yep. So if you Monarch and Runespark would like to roll, I'd say
Do I need to roll? If
no.
giving him
You Monarch
advantage?
can have advantage. I'd say make a sleight of hand check with advantage. Add your proficiency.
Can I see in the chamber that I'm currently in, the Dragon's Chamber? Can I see any other ways in or out?
There is the other path on your left.
How far away is that from? I'm assuming
It's a
I'm
good
stood in
50
the edge
feet
of this.
away. Yeah, it's a good 50 feet on your left, and you know it's 100 feet where you were originally. So you'd basically have to run back a good 100 feet, back round another 100 feet to even get to the other side.
I
and
was
you don't know
thinking
what's
more
there.
if we had to go into the dragon's room.
And then
Is
back
there
out.
another way we can get
Oh
out?
yeah, there is. Yeah, so you can go into the room and come out the other exit.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
want
it's
to be
possible.
ready to mask the smell of the trap.
Yep.
If it goes off, I want to be ready to create a smell using prestidigitation to cover the smell of the trap.
Okay. Yep.
Is
So you want to
that
hold your
dragon
action for
awake?
that.
Is the dragon
The
awake?
dragon is awake. He's peaceful. He's not doing too much. He's just sort of resting, looking over his loot and his treasure. He is quite a bit awake. You do notice here is very, very cold. And in the corner of the room, you do notice a pool where seawater just splashes against. So it seems to be coming from somewhere. And you see like waves washing this pool in the corner of the room behind the dragon.
Are they like icy waves, or is it just warm enough for it to not be like? Because I don't know if you've ever seen the picture of like when waves actually freeze. It's that cold, and it's like it pushes up, freezes, but then there's enough momentum for it to drop back down, and it comes back.
Yeah, it's
and
kind of like
freezes.
that. It's kind of like almost like slush at the tips
Yeah.
of the
Yeah,
tips of the
okay,
wave,
cool.
where it's cold, freezing water that comes in. Sort of, it's flowing, so it's not frozen. It appears to be like
Okay.
seawater. That's why it's not frozen. A bit saltier, a bit harder to
Um,
freeze.
How did you get on, Mnemonic?
I also want to say something, and I from my backpack I get a wand, and I gave it to one of them, saying that this is the wand that can make people fart.
So who wants the wand of flatulence?
I'm not going to take it. It's not something I would take
I'm
because
saying
I
to
don't,
one of them.
I don't really have agreement with him anyway.
Does he want it just being kept safe, or what's the plan here, Mnemonic?
Listen to my plan. So if I did unsuccessful trigger the trip, obviously I know that you could do your magics to make it less as possible with the smell. It's a smell, isn't it?
Yeah, it's more of a smell. This.
Mm.
So at probably 5 seconds later, I want one of you to use the wand on the dragon. So hopefully that make the dragon think that that's his fault or her fault. I don't know if that would work.
What's the range on the?
Yeah, what's the range on
wand?
it? If we can't see the dragon,
60
there's-
feet.
Is the dragon 60 feet from where that trap is?
I
Nope.
also think
Dragon is
that
not 60 feet from that trap.
actually, can I roll to see if dragons would be resistant to magic?
You would. I would say roll intelligence.
Okay.
Or history or whatever. it's
Yeah,
like.
I'll roll an
I
intelligence.
do have an out of character question regarding my wild shape because it doesn't actually say this in the rules.
Yep.
Can I wild shape from one form to another beast form, or do I have to turn back into a human if I want to?
I would say you could turn to another form, providing it's not in your like max uses per day.
I've got 2 uses per day,
So you could do it.
so it's just because it doesn't actually say. It just says
No,
that
I'd say
I
I'd
can turn
allow
into
it.
a beast, and then if I want to change back early, I can expend another use to turn back into human. But it doesn't say anything about changing from one beast to another.
I would say you're
Either
not.
yes or no.
I would say
so-
you could turn to another beast as long as it's not early. So if you expend a use to turn back, you would then lose your.
So would I
to
have to
use
turn
this.
back to orc form before I could turn into?
No,
a
no.
beast?
You could wait until your beast form.
It says that
Half your level?
You can use this feature twice. You regain expended uses when you finish a short or long rest, and then it says second level, 4th level, and 8th level. It tells me what my max challenge rate and my limitations, and then gives me an example. It
But
doesn't say I gain
You
it
expend the
anymore.
use to come back, right?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So if you come
But
back
then-
early, if you came back early, you couldn't do it. But if you wanted to go from one beast form to another beast form, you could do it, providing like so your beast form runs out, transform into the next beast, let that run out.
Okay.
That's how I would read it.
Okay. In that case,
Okay,
then
rather
I
than
can't.
But if you switched early, you can't go from one beast form to the next beast form. I would say,
Okay.
unless you wait it out till you know you're going to change, then change back to the other beast.
Stay shape for a number of hours. Oh, great! I'm stuck like this for 4 hours. If I want to turn into something else.
Yes. So you want to change something else, you have to stay like that for 4 hours. That's what I mean. Then you
I
can
am going
change
to do
for another 4 hours.
absolutely nothing as a rat, so I might as well just creep back to the others and then take human form again and just.
Okay,
try
I
and
got a
convince
20
short rest. Try and find
on
a
my
way for short-
intelligence.
Okay, yeah. So you know that dragons are very high wisdom. They're very intelligent, and they do have a lot of magic resistance.
Okay.
It does depend on the tribes and the type they are, but you wouldn't
generally
necessarily know
they
what
are a
type.
magic
but their
being.
magic being would be high in magic.
Okay, I will note
Resistance.
that to Mnemonic and be like, I don't think that that's going to work. Before we go anywhere, before we disarm this trap, before we do anything, how are we going to get into the room, get the items, and then get the hell out of Dodge?
Well, that could be quite interesting because, from what I could see, the items are all frozen in an ice cube.
With the
How
dragon
big-
on
how-
top.
With the dragon on top. How big was the ice cube?
It was a good like 50 by 50 feet.
I got idea. I got this ring. I can be invincible. So, but only
Invisible.
for 1 minute.
So you can be invisible for you can be invisible for 1 minute. So
How big was that thing?
About 100 square feet.
100 square
That's a
feet.
big ice cube.
Yep.
He was a big dragon.
I
You could.
mean,
You'd have to get.
Admittedly, I was looking at it from the perspective of a
I
rat.
can
even
warm a cubic feet at a time.
You can warm a cubic feet. You can't melt it. You can warm it up.
I can warm it, which if you warm ice, it melts.
Only if you warm it enough. Remember, there is what is presumably an ice dragon sat on top of it.
I'm throwing ideas. I also have acid. I could
That
use
would help
acid.
That would probably work better with getting rid of the ice.
I'll punch it.
That probably won't work as well as the acid.
Can we bargain with the dragon?
Okay.
Okay.
We have lots of problems, but no solutions.
Macaf is nearby, but she's not engaged with you.
This is all being said fairly quietly, okay?
Yeah.
Because I do not want to have like everything down on our heads.
If you're sat down talking, I would like to take a short rest because my my rules for short rest are shorter than a normal short rest,
What's your short rest rule?
like an hour or so.
An hour.
If
What's
you're
a normal
sat-
short rest?
It's like 4 hours.
No,
or something, isn't it?
short rest an hour.
Hour. Oh, so no, it's the same.
so you got the same.
Your short rest is 30 minutes.
Yeah. So anytime you're sat down and doing low activity, you can have a short
Could we
rest.
safely have a short rest now then?
Yeah, you could. If you're sat having a chat, as long as you
is-
chat
We're
and don't
discussing
do anything
strategies.
else.
Yeah, there are 6
That's
of us
fine.
in a circle.
If-
One of us can take turns looking out.
If we do that, then the enhanced ability is going to run out. But
Well, he died.
Yep, you may use your hit dice. Yep.
Two of my dice. So
A massive dome at this moment because you're taking a short rest. Appears.
yeah, I'm
Is
basically
it
just
D6
place
or-
it, tap the ground in the middle with the base of my
Bugger off,
staff.
no.
The mistletoe at the top glows slightly before like dark strands of light start to flow out and basically form a dome around us.
Yep, and in that dome, the most of the light's quite dim. They can see sort of shadowy movements. They can't really see any fire or any light source as such.
I have to
So
look
they're
up what my
pretty
hit
well
dice
hidden.
is. I don't know what my hit die
A
is.
short rest was completely useless to me except for beast form because I don't get any spells.
Oh,
So
really?
when I
So it's
think
only for
back,
beast form for
So
druid.
I've just got my beast form back.
Well, let everyone heal up hit dice as you discuss strategy.
Okay, well I've now got beast form, my wild shape back, so I can take the form of another animal if that might prove easier, but I can only take the form of animals that I
it's a
have
D8.
engraved amongst my staff.
I wasn't sure what my hit die
Oh, your
was.
hit dice for Artemis.
I suppose we'd have time to carve
I
the
got
dragon.
6. I got 6 hit
A
die.
dragon I cannot technically take. The form
Yeah.
of a dragon is too sentient, a beast.
Makes sense.
3. I'm going to use 2 hit die.
Yeah.
I can only take the form of weaker creatures. About the strongest I could actually get. I could turn into another form of mouse.
It was frozen by like a pile of ice,
That's it.
and then on top of that, got the dragon sitting on it.
Yeah, so there's a pile of ice and the dragon is sitting on top of the pile of ice.
And from
Okay.
what I
Cheers, Ben.
obviously I didn't see how big is ice. Can I kind of from what I can
Marin's told you it's 100 square meters, basically. 100 cubic meters, sorry.
100
50 by 50.
Okay, so and I say to the guys, so even if we melt it, that is still going to take like more than 5 minutes to melt something.
Definitely.
That's presuming the dragon doesn't see us, or smell us,
Given
or hear us.
how open the room was, I'm assuming the room was open.
Very
here.
open. The room is very
The
open.
dragon will notice us the moment we walk in. I did scout this out looking like a rat. Rats are fairly common in this kind of area.
The room's is open. It's about 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55. About 60 feet wide and about 15, 20, 25, 30, about 80 feet to the furthest point with a pool towards the back right corner.
Well, I've heard that you guys killed Resme and a dragon. So, what are your plans on this then?
Fighting a dragon is never a task to be undertaken lightly.
Yeah.
We didn't actually mean to get into the fight with the dragon. It happened. We survived. Is better than to say that we won.
Just gonna say I'm not gonna make a deception roll because technically they did get in a fight with a dragon and it wasn't intentional. And they did kind of win. They didn't kill the dragon though.
Exactly. So I am saying all truth here. It's
So he's not lied at all. He's
um,
just bent the truth.
our main goal is to. Sorry, one.
Yeah, no, sorry.
I'm going to say to Macaf, has she got any ideas to? Are all the items for the Arcane Brotherhood in this cube? Or are there some scattered around?
There might be some sort of scattered around. He tends to be quite possessive of the items, so if they're not in the ice cubes, they'll be around his lair. These most important items he keeps in the ice cubes, and the stuff that might be useful and not so much would be sort of spread around his lair, hidden in like little alcoves.
I honestly don't know how we're going to get into the chamber, melt the ice, get the items, and get out again without being spotted. If we do get spotted, we stand, we fight, and we die, or we run as fast as we can. I don't want to know where the exit is yet, because I know you're not going to tell me. How far is this exit?
So he goes, in that room it is 50 feet, sort of in from the edge of the corridor.
Okay.
So
Into
I've
the
already
exit.
studied the room.
Yep.
So I'm basically going to say, is it that area of seawater that's lapping in at the back? Because if it is, then I know where the exit is, and I've now announced it to everyone else.
Make. I don't really know what she would. I
Perception
guess it's
to see a
her.
reaction?
Yeah, I guess you'd be like an insight, I guess, for everyone.
Insight, yeah.
Insight for everyone. And she's gonna make a perception. I guess.
But Macaf, clearly you have some loyalty to this dragon. He hasn't killed you yet. What's keeping you alive?
She goes, well, I made a deal to convert his scrolls.
Then surely can we not make a deal?
Is the
I
scrolls
guess.
The dragon.
would the scrolls be inside the cube?
Not all the scrolls. So she's got some scrolls in little alcoves around the ice cave, so she can go back in and try and translate them again or something.
But the more important ones are the ones that inside the ice cube, possibly.
Yeah.
Is there any chance you can trick him into getting the ice down to
It's a
get
dragon.
one?
It's possible, but she goes, but he is very intelligent. He's not stupid.
I look up at Arthur and I'm like,
You can try it, but it's dangerous.
you can try, but dragons are amongst the most ancient creatures on this realm. They are powerful. They are intelligent.
It's enough.
For honor! Just on myself.
So if and I say if you can get in, who else can get in?
So I'll come back to that in a second. So Maren notices very, very slightly. She looks disappointed when you explain where the exit is.
Well, it's definitely the seawater, which was, 50 feet from the door?
Yeah, 50 feet from the door. It's the back right corner from the corridor.
How
If you're
fast is everyone?
I need to check some wording.
You, Monarch, she goes, well, no one will come in for the seawalk because it's so cold. If you tried to swim for it alone, the chances are you'll probably get exhausted from just swimming alone. It's that cold.
No, I meant like if you can go, like go.
She can freely go into Dragon's Lair.
To the dragons, like who else been here? Who else
Oh, okay.
coming here?
So she
Not, like, getting out.
So she tells you the only people that've been allowed in the lair is her, and some people in some purplish robes with golden bands around their sleeves and legs.
Would we know who they are? Like, would that description mention
That
anyone?
description would be the cult, the uniform of the cult of dragons, which are the ones that are after the masks.
Can you say that one more time? What color again?
Purple with golden, so purple robes with golden bands around the arms and legs. It's the cult of dragons, which is basically you've been dealt with the whole entire
So I
campaign.
can assume
And
the
then I
nature
look-
of this dragon is at least
I look through
Evil.
my backpack.
You would assume, yes.
I assume that I got one.
Yeah, you still have a robe. Yeah, you do. You still
I
have.
got one.
Yep.
I do as well.
So does Runespark. A Fenrir and is away.
Didn't it get ripped up or something?
Oh, it
Yeah.
got ripped. It got chopped to pieces. That was it. So there are two of you that have the robes.
Do you pull these robes out?
I mean I can pull mine out of my bag of holding and be like, we do have these from an earlier encounter.
Because at the moment I see them, I'm going to fall slightly onto the defensive. Because, like, wait a second.
We've been dealing with this cult for months. And when I say months, I mean
A long
literal
time.
a long time. I was
And then-
broken out of
Sorry, go on.
a cult prison where they were holding us like animals in cages. I stole a robe and managed to sneak out. That is why I have one.
So far, Runespark's proven to be the one that I seem to be able to trust the most. So I'm just going to, like, that would make sense.
We all, and I look at Thunder and Mnemonic at this point, and I was like, we have all had these robes at some point. We had to travel with them for 3 months.
You travelled the cult for 3 months. Yeah.
3 months we had to hide amongst them
40 days.
without being discovered.
I think I've been giving the Dragon Cult too much credit for their intelligence.
You put the right clothes on, you make the right signs, you speak the right lingo. People will believe anything. And also I get on well with people.
I don't know why.
We're a friendly
Beast-
bunch.
Beasts may seem more uncouth, but frankly, they're far more loyal and trustworthy than any humanoid I've ever met.
Agreed.
That's why they're surprised.
And yes, I am counting the cat in that. Not
Really-
that big. Not those
Riddigus
cats.
goes like me, and then didn't help.
No, that
And
cat.
then, can I continue asking? So, for those people who were wearing the robe, what are they doing here?
They spoke to the dragon about something, and McCaff wasn't allowed in, so she doesn't really know what they come for. But they did carry a horn-looking item out.
A horn-looking item.
Yes.
That would be
I
the
believe.
drag horn then.
Yes. Runespark has seen a picture of it, and the way she
Can I?
describes it is.
Crap! I can do this. Prestidigitation. I am going to hold up a piece of parchment, and I'm gonna prestidigitation like a copy of the picture onto the
Yep.
paper.
So you
Does it look like this?
She nods and agrees. It's basically almost like a makeshift flute on the end of a curved horn, basically, and that is the image of a drak horn.
Okay.
How do you spell that?
DRAA, two A's, CHORN.
I wanted to use minor illusion, but I don't know it, so
Oh,
I
no,
was
but
like,
prestidigitation works,
prestidigitation
and
does everything.
it's a good spell if you use it right.
Okay, I'm gonna tuck that parchment away then. Okay, so it was here. It's not here anymore.
But it's still being used, because every now and again you do hear the pulsing and feel like the pulsing in your ears, so you know it's being used.
I'm still rubbing my eyes because I'm just like, I don't know how we're gonna get these treasures for you, McCaff. I truly want to help you, and I want to make this deal for Waterdeep happen. Your people will be a great ally to us. I don't know how we're going to get in that room and get those items. I'm being honest here. I'm opening the floor because I don't know how we're going to do this.
Do you have a plan?
She doesn't. She can go in there and distract him, but that's all she can do. And that won't buy you enough time now, I mean.
You got two choices. Number one, we go in there,
Yep.
we grab all the item, and we all die. Or number two, we just leave.
Okay, make an intimidation check.
Oh, intimidation.
I would say so. I wouldn't really say that's persuasion. I would say that's more forceful persuasion.
Yeah, no.
It was borderline. It was borderline.
I was trying to
It
be
was
forceful.
borderline.
I mean, and he is a knight in like
Yeah,
armor.
and he's a knight in armor, and it wasn't really a
Intimidation. Did you say?
intimidation. Yeah.
12.
Well, she is intimidated, and she goes, "Well," and she's a bit intimidated. She doesn't really know what to say, and she goes, "Well,
I follow it up by saying,
Can-
do you want your life? Or do you want to die?
I want my
Look
Arcane
at it.
Brotherhood."
Look at it this way: if, from what you've told us, he is a hoarder of magical artifacts, he will keep them close to himself. He will not let someone else take them. Which I'm ignoring the whole Dragon Cult business.
Yeah.
Which means if we go now, we can survive to not only fight another day, but return with larger numbers.
And she goes, "Can you come, like, promise to me that you can bring back, like, more people and guarantee that they'll come back and storm this ice cave?"
Would
and
I hold enough influence with the Council of Waterdeep to
you
make
can
that
definitely,
promise?
you
I-
can't
I
make
ca-
the
I can-
promise.
I can
you can
promise
ask
you.
Romalia, so you'd have enough influence to ask
Combined,
her.
we do.
Combined, you would.
I say to her,
It'd have to be a
I
group
literally just say to her, I'm just like, I am the protector of the Queen,
Yeah.
and me and the Queen are quite close, as I always always next to her. I might. Hey.
Does he actually? Do you actually make that comment
Monarch
verbally?
makes that comment out loud. That's canon now.
we,
I just roll my eyes at that.
I can always ask the Queen, and it's more likely that she will send one of the highest knights
Okay,
to help.
make a persuasion roll. I'll load a DC, and I just need Merlin to make a
I have
persuasion
an
roll based on
OC
this.
question, if that's all right.
Yeah.
Because I'm not 100% certain on what. So being an alchemist, which is a subset of the Mages Guild,
Yes.
or the Wizarding Guild, depending on what you want to call it. What sort of rank level would I hold? Would it be a journeyman? Would it be a master?
I wouldn't necessarily
It depends
say.
on like how you want to structure
Yeah.
it. Like I have in my head, I have a structuring system.
Yeah,
but-
I would say you're like the. You're not quite. what they would consider a
senior
master.
journeyman?
You'd be like senior, because you're pretty proficient. You're proficient enough to own a store, or at least help run the store with your dad.
Yeah.
You don't own a guild, so you're not necessarily a.
I'm not a master level, but I'm a senior
but
journeyman.
You're senior journeyman until you set up a guild.
That's absolutely fine. So I hold a reasonable amount
You
of
have
sway.
a reasonable sway with the Wizard Guild.
Okay.
Out of character, this is the Sword Coast, right?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I don't know much about the Sword Coast guilds
That's all right.
and things, but the Harpers, which you're a member of, they're a nature-based. Like, aren't they like rangers and druids?
They're kinda. So they're more rangers and druids, and
I'm just thinking,
they're
how
more
much
You would be
sway-
more aligned with his guild, yeah.
How much sway would I have with the Harpers as a druid? Would they be inclined to?
You wouldn't. As a druid, you'd be able to convince them to do it. The Harpers tend to work in this setting anyway. Tend to work a bit more underground. They're a bit more hidden. They're a bit more secretive, but they would align themselves quite closely with people that are nature based or
They're
share
spies
same
and
alignments.
scouts, aren't they?
They're spies and scouts, and they work underground, but they align themselves with druids and people that
Rangers.
share their ideals. Yeah, and that's why you found her in as part of
Yeah.
the Harper Guild.
And now it's my question. Now, obviously, we're talking about ranks.
I had a second question.
You can wait your turn.
You're captain.
Okay, so how high is that rank then?
That's
Not well, it's pretty high, but it's not.
Captain's quite high.
Captain's fairly high.
Okay.
There's like only a couple more.
I'm trying to figure out a way to put this into perspective for you.
You'll
Have
do
you,
well,
ever, have you ever seen Blackadder Goes Forth? Other comedies are available.
No.
No. Okay. Then that
I
would
have.
be completely.
What's
Well, in that Blackadder is a captain, so
Yeah.
it should kind of gives you an idea of how much influence he'd have. Like he'd have influence over the main foot soldiers, but in the overarching case of a battle, you would not have much influence at all. You would mainly lead the charge.
yeah.
And
That's
probably
what
be
I
the
do anyway.
first to be
Yeah,
targeted.
exactly.
You
Yeah,
know?
but
You
but the
would
Queen
control
knows
men,
you.
yeah.
But the Queen knows you, and you feed back to Sildar, so
Yeah.
you have that
Okay.
level in between you all. You can convince them to do it,
Okay.
but you just got to convince McCaff that
Our
That's the best
Unnatural
option.
20 persuasion.
unnatural 20.
I had an 11.
I'm just going to add that while individually none of us have
The
The-
ultimate power.
political pull to do your request, I believe that all of us together, should we present our case to the council, we could pull enough weight to have that done for you. I truly believe that. I can't guarantee it. Nothing is guaranteed in this life, but I can guarantee you that we
Death.
will try.
I basically interject and say, death is guaranteed.
I-
Death is even more guaranteed if you decide to ignore us and walk into that
Okay.
room.
I-
And please roll intimidation.
You can roll intimidation.
I'm
Runespark
gonna nod my
with
head
advantage
at
for
Mirren.
persuasion.
Yeah, I'm
So
gonna-
Runespark persuasion with advantage.
Okay.
Nine's agreed with that. Murmur intimidation.
16.
well,
Guys, this dragon is linked to the cult. The cult is linked to everything. Of course, everyone will help.
That's true. It's a valid point.
21.
Okay, so between the two of you, she's intimidated enough by the druid, ironically.
But the half-orc druid. Half-orcs are
Well,
known
true.
for being fairly
A
intimidating,
half-orc-
even if mine's fairly peaceful.
Yeah, a half-orc druid is managed to intimidate the a wizard. Between Runespark's words, convincing it, she reluctantly agrees, but she believes that you have to act fast. You have to sort of take you to the exit or whatever, and then to take to a different exit.
How do you plan to survive the swim?
No, she'll take you to a different
We
exit.
can't go to the swimming exit because that's in the dragon's chamber.
Yes, but if we're just planning to get out of here, then running and jumping into the water was what I thought we were doing.
Well, yeah, she can do it.
We
she
can do
she
that,
can
but
cast,
then we'd make the dragon aware that we are aware of all his loot, and she is leaving with us. He will
Understood.
twig that he is a very old creature.
You can do it, so you can either go that way, and it's the
Understood.
quickest route out, or you can go the long route. It's up to you. And the
I
calf tells you
believe the
both ways.
longer, safer route to be the best option in this case.
I agree.
Longer may not be safer though.
Not necessarily, but you
Means
are
we're
with
not
the
going
calf,
into
and
the
she
room
knows
with the dragon.
tunnels.
As far as I'm concerned, that is safer.
And he got us killed with ice toads, so
Do you have cold resistance?
I don't.
I,
Well, then this way
however,
is safer.
I can provide cold resistance to, I believe, 3 people. No, I don't know how it works. For the duration, the willing creature you touch has resistance to 1 damage type of your choice.
It's a cat.
1 hour
It knows.
concentration. Doesn't say if I use a high spell slot, I can give it to more people though.
It
so I
listens
can-
to me, so
What spell is it?
it's
It's protection from energy.
I've had it since it was a cub.
It just is the willing
feel
creature
like
you touch.
you
I'd have
should.
thought,
I was like,
at higher
yay
level
tall,
spell
I was
slots
like,
I
yay
could.
tall now. I'm like, yay
I will
big.
check
It's like
for
a
you
yay
really
big.
quickly.
How heavily are we meant to roleplay this, by the way? For spell slots, am I supposed to refer to it as something
Either.
else? Or?
That's fine.
Because I know some places don't like.
No,
you
some
don't,
groups
you don't.
Whatever easiest for you, bud.
Yeah, whatever's easiest.
I'm going to stick with spell slots then.
It's a third level spell, so she can up to 3 people.
Well, I wasn't sure if
Has Mnemonic attempted the trap yet?
No.
Can I try it?
You got advantage from my
You
help.
do have advantage if you try it.
Are we sure we want to do that if we're leaving?
Yes, because next time
We can disable it when we
we
come back.
at
Or
least
if we
don't
come
need
back
to
with
worry
full
about
force.
that. When we got the full.
He may just reset the trap or get one of these monsters that we've heard about in here to do it for him.
I have a contingency for if it goes off, so
That's true.
Very well, and if you get us all killed, I will not be there to
So-
resurrect you.
Yep, go ahead and
I owe you a beer in the afterlife. Let's get on with
I've got
this.
21 HP.
yeah, you might make a roll.
These are pretty.
Are you
easy
going for
going.
the? Are you going for?
Yeah,
McCaff
well,
asked you.
I'm
Are
very
you
much
going for the
passive.
water?
No, we're
No.
not going to the
No,
water.
no one going for the water.
Because you're saying because if she was, she was going to cast a
So
spell
what
on you.
do I need to get? What do I need to roll? With
Sleight of
Natural
Sleight
hand.
of hand.
Natural 20.
Add your
That's what you need
proficiency.
to roll.
It's not that hard.
No, it's not that difficult to cut. Right.
Natural
size
1 instead.
Size of hand. Okay, let's. Okay.
I was gonna say, your sleight of hand should be pretty good.
I hope so. he's
Rolls
a
a natural
rogue.
one.
Okay, before I roll, my size of hand is 7.
Yeah,
Plus 7. So
exactly. And you got advantage.
plus 7.
Yeah, you have more. So roll.
Hang on,
advantage.
I'm going to just quickly tap him on the shoulder and basically cast guidance on him so he can roll a d4 and add the number to an ability check.
Okay, yeah. So you get to roll an extra d4.
On each one.
Okay.
Man, guidance is so good.
Well, especially as it's a cantrip, so I can just keep doing it.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Guidance is
I
awesome.
can't give it.
Yeah,
I could have given
shout
him.
that spell.
I could have given him inspiration.
Roll a
I can't.
d4. Roll a
I got
d4.
inspiration. I need to shout.
Yep.
Yeah, add that to it, and then add your 7.
I got 1 again.
So
Two natural
2
ones.
plus a
So
7.
Totally, very late before.
Oh my
I got
god.
D20, I got natural 1. D1, I roll a 1. Plus 7, so I got 9 total. 9.
Was
Right.
that with advantage?
That was not with advantage.
Actually, that wasn't with advantage.
No, so you get to roll again. But
Roll
it's
again,
lucky.
please. Christ, roll again.
Just need that higher. That would have definitely failed, by the way.
Told you it was natural 1.
D20.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go. Okay.
And add a
slightly
d4.
better.
Add a d4
Yeah.
if you want it.
Do I roll again with advantages for the D4 as well?
No, just
No.
roll the d4 again.
Straight D4.
Yeah. Okay, because obviously I just used that as a 1. So 17.
Yeah, yep, that's definitely
That's
much better. So the first time you go in and you're like really wobbly with your knife and you're shaking lows and you almost see the bag begin to open, and then you take a breath and come back and you manage to cut them safely. So if you wanted to run that way now, it is free to do so.
Okay.
I think we'll pass on that generous opportunity. Thank you, DN.
But it's clear that it's a clear avenue for us.
I do like to think that Murren does actually say that. Like, there's this voice in his head that says
Yeah.
you can go that way. No, thank you.
I think it's a good thing that me and you aren't using our old characters.
Yes.
No, yeah.
We would have been in this fight already.
For reference,
Yeah,
our
no
old
name
characters were
would have
very
flown in
aggressive
there
and did not
started
talk
trying to
very
punch
much.
the dragon in the face.
That would be
And
the
Heskin
ultimate
would not have been much better.
No,
He wouldn't have flown in, but he would have just charged.
I might have been able to restrain Eskin,
RuneSpark could probably have stopped Heskin. He wouldn't have stopped Noah.
providing you didn't rage. Because if you raged, then I would have just been like, oh well, you are.
Mention of the cult, I would have raged.
Yeah, like
But I could have teleported the dragon.
So right, McCaff is.
DMs everywhere. You could try.
You definitely could try.
Just remember.
More that
man.
simple.
Just remember.
Yeah.
Just for reference, it's a very good T-shirt. No more information. So McCaff managed to lead you. So if you're not going through the ice pit, McCaff a little bit disappointed.
She
She's
seems
gonna.
saddened by the fact that we're not going to try and bypass the ice dragon and possibly go
True.
to our deaths.
You
But-
know something, don't you?
I can't
about that
say it.
area. No,
I
around.
can't-
No, I'm talking to McCarthy.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I'm just like,
I
you
thought
know
you meant
something
the-
around that area, don't you? There's something that you know. I know it. You know something, but I just
Roll an
don't know
insight
what
check.
it is.
Does the dragon poo in the water?
Seriously? That's what you came up with?
The dragon's poo in the water.
Serious question from Fandrin. McCaff looks at Fandrin like, "That's the weirdest question I've ever heard." And she goes, "No."
17.
You will get exhaustion unless you're protected, but it is the quickest way out.
Okay.
It'll literally take you back to the surface.
So, okay.
So you could do it with maybe one level of exhaustion if you're not, depending on your like constitution.
Well,
Um,
obviously, of being a captain myself, obviously, I'm the one who charges in. But for the safety of my men, of how I am, I obviously turn around and go with everyone else.
Yep. So she begins to lead you back to the ice pillar, back to the rope that RuneSparkle's already set up.
That only takes us 20 feet up. It doesn't take us right to the
No,
top.
it doesn't.
Give me a second. I might actually have as a way around that. but
Before
I'm
that, can I
double
look
check.
up?
Yeah.
See if the ice toads are still there.
The ice toads are not there anymore.
Okay.
Okay.
So I don't want to go up that way if there's
Shine.
ice toads there.
Right. With a strength score of 16,
Yeah.
how many different members of the party would I be strong enough to lift?
16. What's the modifier for that? If it's
Plus three.
3.
I'd
So I'd
presumably be able to
probably
lift
say you could lift
and
RuneSpark
mouse.
easily. You could lift RuneSpark and Mouse together. I'd say you probably can lift one more person.
Well, not at once.
Like a-
I mean individually.
Oh, individually you could do that
I
easily.
could do
So
everyone.
you could do everyone one at a time. Well,
I've got my beast form back.
Can I just
Yep.
climb up?
that is true. Yeah, yep. So the Tobacco is going to climb up. He's got climbing
Whilst-
ability, so that's easy for him to do.
Whilst he's doing that, I just look around at
can I
everyone
actually-
else.
You know, when I climb up, can I bring one person?
If you do that, I'd have to make you make a dexterity saving for.
Yeah, I do that.
Okay, who you bring in?
I just ask who want to come with me.
Nope.
I'm very poor athletically. I might fall to my death.
I have no reason to. Do you want to be carried by a cat?
Who's climbing up the wall? You're at the ice pillars, and he is trying to climb back up. There's no ice pillars at the top.
I mean, if he wants to carry me, he can. I'm kind of short, and I don't think I weigh that much. I actually don't know how much I weigh. That's
It's just for
something
your
Make
safety,
af-
you Monic. I don't want to drag you down.
McCaff goes, I could just cast fly on you guys.
Oh, you could have said that earlier.
And then just begins to
I'm just gonna look
make
at
a
her
movement
like,
and then just
And-
cast fly on all of us. On all the
And you
people
didn't
in
think
this
to
party.
mention that straight away.
What else can you do?
Yeah, what
Yeah.
other magic do you know?
Can you
She
put
goes-
dragons to sleep?
We'll wait until we make we get a more concrete deal. And then
I'm basically at this point.
You can
I'm
fly up to
going
60
I'm
feet.
going to hook
Can
my
I
staff
stop
onto
it?
her and
I
basically say,
stop it, wait.
"No,
You might.
we're discussing
you might know
this.
Something that we can help to get those items. Help us
We are
now,
discussing this
otherwise
now.
we
You
Okay.
are not.
come back.
We are not leaving until you have told us what you have left out. So
okay,
far.
so make Moen can make an intimidation roll. You can either make it with advantage or make it separately if Monarch wants to roll. So you can either give Moen advantage on his intimidation check or can roll separately. It's
I
up to
would
you.
roll separately because my rolls today have been crap.
Okay, so what we're going.
Yep.
I'm gonna stand up the. Are we still below? Or...
Natural 20.
You're flying. You're
Finally!
floating.
Oh, we're flying. Okay, that's fine.
You're just floating at
Okay.
the moment until you want to go up. You can move about 60 feet.
Okay. I'm just going.
And it's weird because you're like gravity and like you're floating and it feels weird. Takes a little while.
Still.
So gravity.
23, natural
Should be
20
alright
plus
then.
3.
Okay, so that's 20 plus 3.
Scared.
She begins.
She wets herself.
She doesn't quite wet herself.
Oh.
It's a little more dignified than that. Plus, you can't see behind her robes, but she does. She looks a bit scared and she goes, "Oh well, the Arcane Brotherhood has some really important documents in the iceberg. Yeah, the dragon's on. Like
What
really important.
documents?
They talk about the Red Wizards, their methods of extracting information. They talk about different members of artifacts. It talks about different summoning creatures.
Is back up
How
artifacts.
a tabaxi once created some really powerful constructs. It talked
Is
about
back up even further about constructs.
yeah. Talked about how they'd put the constructs in items, and that would be like the focus for the constructs, such as a necklace or an amulet.
I tell her I built a dragon.
She goes, "That's cool." And then like that's like
I'm probably
that's
still
cool.
stood over her
And
glaring
then sees
at
Mer
her.
and like staring at her and goes, "Oh," and then how Florencia's influence to flood their town, and then so how Florencia's influence to flood their town, and she begins to like tell you there was like arrows of dragon slaying, there was cold resistance rings and amulets
Sorry, what
in the iceberg.
what was that dragon slaying one?
Arrows of dragon slaying.
Arrows of dragon slaying.
And as she's like, explaining this, and what about your own abilities?
And she goes, "Well, I'm a powerful wizard, part of the Arcane Brotherhood. I'm not powerful to take a dragon on my own." But
It's still the reason we came this way is because we still, as powerful as our group is, and I do believe we are powerful. This is not a fight to enter needlessly. I personally like my hide not to be frosty.
and she goes, yeah, and she goes, "Oh, but you must understand, like, the scripts and stuff, like, people read these scripts and go mad, and that's why they're only for the Arcane Brotherhood. The stuff that in them is powerful. It's
Well, if they
it's
drive
mind-bending,
people, not
reality
members
bending.
of the Arcane Brotherhood mad, and yes, I did interrupt her here,
Yeah,
why are we concerned about people getting hold of them?
if the cult
A sudden spate of insanity would probably draw attention.
the cult has wizards that are that powerful. They've been working with other wizards, subsets of the Arcane Brotherhood, and other wizard groups that have the ability to translate them, and it's stuff that breaks realities, tears holes in fabrics, pulls people out of portals, that kind of stuff. And if you break down, she explains, if you break down the realms, you can destroy the world. It's like an apocalypse level event.
Well, now that we've discussed all that, perhaps now would be a good time to mention that this is all a facade, considering I am a pacifist. You weren't actually under any threat from me. Right, are we leaving?
She looks incredibly disappointed and just goes, and like her face is sort of drops down
Oh,
to
I
the
would
floor.
still assist you with gaining the artifacts, but
So quiet, and she goes,
I'm
"Thanks for honouring the deal," and just begins to float back up.
I'm gonna chuckle. I'm gonna chuckle at this and just be like,
Wait. What kind of magic you said you know? Like, what type of
She doesn't really.
class?
She doesn't.
Class, what school?
Oh, she's conjuration.
Okay.
would that mean anything to a druid?
Ish. It's more like summoning things.
I believe you would know.
You know what
of the
conjuration
schools.
is.
Yeah,
You-
I know. I
Yeah.
was thinking more. Would I know what sort of like the spell?
Oh
that
yeah,
she's
yeah.
likely
It'd
to
be
know?
like not. It's more like summoning and calling forth like monsters, items, that kind of thing.
Okay.
Banishment, that kind of stuff.
Do I might actually know the conjuration spells.
It's more to do with like the realms and like demons
Grasping
and
Pride
stuff.
is an example of
Yeah,
a
yeah.
conjuration
And
spell.
you
So,
conjure something from thin
yeah.
air, and and a lot of it pulls influence from other realms and stuff like that as well.
Okay, I
Hence why she knows so much
I
about
fly up
the
as well.
books.
Like,
Okay. When we get to the top, can I believe that we should contact. I believe we should put this question higher up, whether we should go after the material now or come back with a stronger group later. I believe that we can make a good argument for coming back later with a stronger group, but I believe that this is possibly a question we should be asking our superiors.
if we attack now, several of us are slightly weakened. Myself especially, I'm in character. My magical reserves are down out of character.
Yeah.
I'm running out of spell slots.
Yeah.
And as strong as we all might be, Are we strong enough to take on a fully grown frost dragon that's probably going to be quite defensive? And any other forces he might have down here. I'm all for gaining those artifacts back. But can we handle it?
That's why I suggested we come back later. I'm gonna contact the council, and with that, I'm gonna touch the tattoo on my forearm with 2 fingers, and who it was
Queen
Harry.
Romalia. Queen Romalia.
Is it just to the Queen?
Yeah, just to the
okay.
Queen. Or the active
Would
member of the council.
I have a way of contacting them myself?
Through the insignia. It's the
Through
same.
insignia, okay.
Queen Romalia. This is Runespark of the Northern Expedition. I have a question for you.
So you
Do
get
you know the Muffin Man?
you get an answer.
Exactly.
You get an answer back. It is
I'm sorry.
Queen. It's Queen Romalia here. How can I help? She doesn't need to be the word
we have located and secured is the wrong word, but I'm going to use that. The help of a member of the Arcane Brotherhood.
Your sending tattoo dies. You have to press it again to reactivate it.
Okay.
There's a word limit to sending.
Right. Okay.
How long do I have?
Okay. So I'll do this in.
Do I have a word limit as well?
I will
It's a
do.
spell.
I will do.
Okay.
I will do telegraph.
Yeah.
Arcane Brotherhood contacted.
Safe.
Safe.
You might specify it's Macath.
McCarth. Yeah. Let's see. How would I word this? Dragon and potential powerful horde found.
Send reinforcements.
I can't do that. No, it won't be send. How many characters?
3 more.
3 more
Three
words.
more words.
White dragon.
Advice, please.
White dragon here.
How to proceed?
Yeah, how to proceed is a good way to put it.
So as you get
I was gonna say,
the
what do now?
words shouted from the rest of them, you finish off the sending message.
Yeah.
And she goes, well, that'd be extremely useful.
Is that a word?
We can. Yeah, it is. It does count. I can send a team of 5 veterans, or you can come back and regroup.
I'm going to put that to the party before I answer.
Send a team of 5.
If we go back and regroup, will we come
Team
back
of
with
5.
any more people, or will we still just get those 5 veterans?
You don't.
What
if
would
you
be
if
the case?
but by her tone is regroup is more a discussion of she probably wouldn't. Would she send you, or would she send a different team? It's more of a discussion of an ongoing.
So,
Where's the best place to send you?
Is mnemonics vote.
listen to me, everyone. If she sends the 5 now, we can go back in and try and go for the dragon. But if we go back regroup, we might not go back here because we've already done our target, and that is to find out about the cult.
The
Then
Dracon.
The Dracon,
the Dracon.
which has been moved,
And
which we still
we
don't know
will,
where.
and we still need to look for the white mask, which is apparently has been spotted. But we had 1 or 2 choices, 1 or 2 choices to go to first. We went to here next. We're low on time. If we have the veterans come now, at least we have a chance to get the stuff, and it may aid us in our future cause.
Except my
Exactly.
mission
And we don't have much
was to
time
aid the
now.
Arcane was to investigate the Arcane Brotherhood and see if I could retrieve any of their artifacts. If I tell her that
Yeah, McCaff. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. But McCaff goes. But the Arcane Brotherhood property is worth a lot more to them than her herself.
yes, well that's my point. If we were to return, I could say that you are all critical to my assistance in completing my mission. Because so far you have been.
Fandrin, what
I had
do you
not made
say?
much progress until you arrived.
It's a hard call.
I tap out.
No,
Yeah, you monarch.
committing to her answer.
For a guild tattoo, I remember that if we touch a tattoo, and that's basically also you can use it as send help. Can
That's
we use that as
basically what I'm doing.
Yeah, it's just what Runespark was doing. You can do it to your guild and see what they offer you, but obviously they have their own motives. That's only to cancel, unfortunately.
I can literally only contact the Queen or whoever's
Acting member.
Would you be able to contact someone from the Harpers that could give us a hand as
The
well?
Harpers are more
I could do,
infiltration
but
and
yeah.
reconnaissance.
But they could send
Maybe
people.
I could
We're
contact the
infiltrating
Harpers
the
to see if
dragon.
they've
Yep.
have they noticed anyone or
What do you wanna
rumours
say?
or whispers
If
of
they've heard about the
They
dragon,
got 20 words.
then we could
No,
track
I'm not
that.
saying
Yeah, you can do.
that's what I'm trying to say. Would it be possible to query if that's just like
How would you put that in 20
Drac horn in
That's what I'm
possession
trying to
of dragon cult. Please locate.
yeah
Sounds pretty right, yeah.
Yeah.
yeah
Say it
we'll
again.
do that.
Or
What do you
attempt to locate.
Yeah. So you get a response back, and it's the familiar voice of Learson, who is a monk you've saved from
25
a
words.
raiders camp. 25 words, sorry.
25 words.
From a raiders, from a cultist camp. And within the words, he comes back and says, what were you looking for more specifically?
Has there been sightings or whispers of the Drac?
That's only 10 words.
The sightings of the Drac Horn
It's not
have
war, it's karma.
have gone north. Exact location is not yet known. Harper's following Colt
Train?
to find where the items are going.
My response: keep us posted. But that's not keep us posted of any updates.
Yep, that's fine. You don't have to meet the word limit. You
Okay.
just have to.
So
be
are we
within it.
getting
It could go past it and it'll just cut off.
So you-
are we getting the veterans here or are we regrouping?
I say
I say veterans.
So
I
Fanrin
would say get 5.
voted regrouping. Arthur, you Monarch have voted
So it comes down to my vote.
Because I'm voting regrouping
veterans.
as well.
You're
so
voted regrouping, so,
so
it's
it's down to
literally
RuneSpark.
RuneSpark.
Well, what about Macath?
McCaff obviously is biased, and she is going to say get the veterans because she wants.
She's not part of the party.
Yeah.
Can I call my
She
guild?
doesn't get a deciding vote here.
You
I'm
can
afraid.
call your guild, yeah. So you touch the picture of the dragon with the diving downwards into some flames, and you get a familiar voice of a halfling that you once met, who now runs an underground gambling casino,
Do you want to gamble?
also known as Merry. And he goes, "Yep, what do you want to say?"
And I say, I need help with the kobold situation.
You've got quite a few more words.
Yeah,
Go up to 25.
White dragon here.
Save me.
As there's a pause, you get a message back and says, "Do you still have the mirror
Yes, I do.
on your person?" Like,
Isn't that the one that Alibaba's trapped in?
Yeah.
Okay.
there you go. Why not use the mirror and trade? Oh no, they don't know about the equipment. So they just go, why not use the mirror?
What is the? Would he have relayed that? Would you have relayed
He
that?
it would be telepathically, so
Yeah,
not
it's
necessarily
in his
related
head.
unless he tells you himself.
This is information we don't know yet.
Yeah.
That's it? Is that end it?
That's all they say. Yeah,
End it?
Get to the chop.
Just end it.
you can still call. You have 25 words every time you touch a toe.
And then I say, God damn it. No name took it.
Fell to the floor.
I don't think.
After the spell was not destroyed, but after you were sober.
Well, I can tell you
sober,
because
and then
I write down.
No, I
everything
remember. I
on my
remember what
thing.
happened. It dropped to the floor. The spell, it turned to a silvery color, but it was still active. Monarch picked it up and wrapped it back up and put it back in his bag after No Name was convinced to give it back to you. So Monarch has got
I
it.
think I failed. Did I not fail?
No,
No.
you've got it in your bag.
My character doesn't have it.
Because you showed it to the wizard in the first session.
Okay.
This campaign, so you've got it in your bag.
Okay.
Depends on if you want to
So-
trade away Alibaba.
And then I got this mirror.
The tracker
And then
for
can I
Dragon.
ask what's her name? I forgot her name. Was it me?
Macaf.
The M. Mecca. Can I ask her? I slowly. I wasn't showing literally the mirror, but like the back of the mirror. Also, I got this mirror. Do you know what does it do? What it does?
She casts she can give her 10 minutes and she can cast a spell and tell you what it is. If you allow her to.
And then obviously everyone in the room kind of heard what Mary was saying about.
I don't know, it's asked telepathically, so they wouldn't have heard that so
I can't
much.
hear it.
It's only you.
And then I said to everyone, it's like, okay, I was just talking to a guild leader, and he said, this mirror that we've been through with the vampire wanted so much, and Alibaba and so many people wanted, can obviously got some magical effect that maybe you can trade, or maybe got powerful things that obviously we try and figure out, and then maybe you can do that.
At this moment, you hear the Black Centrum, your tattoo burns, and the Black Centrum, who's the owner of the symbol on your Monarch's arm, contacts back and goes, if you use the mirror, do not use it again. Macaf can detect the the item if you want. Yes, you want it to do it, so it takes 10 minutes. Is anyone keeping watch while she does this?
Yeah, I'll do that.
Well, I don't trust her, so I will look at her.
I mean watch in general.
I won't watch in general. I'll just look at her.
Okay, so
I'm
I'll
gonna
focus on
message
her.
back.
yeah.
Discussing with team. Will relay wishes as soon as possible.
You get a message back that says, okay. It's the Queen reminding us, because, okay, I understand.
Be good, love you, Mum.
She doesn't quite say that. And she goes, be careful.
Take care.
Mum.
Take care. We need you
Love,
safe. And she stops there.
Okay.
But the 10 minutes pass. Just for sake of brevity, I'm going to roll, but I know you're safe. You're safe. And as she finishes her spell, she begins to get a sense of what this item is. I need anyone that's watching her to make an insight roll.
Okay. I'm fully focused on
I'm
Yeah.
keeping watch.
17.
Yeah, so everyone that's watching her to make an insight roll.
Inside
14.
23.
Okay. So anyone that was over a 15.
Oh.
Sorry, I just rolled. Basically gets a sense that the item you can see that she sees the power of this item already. It is extremely powerful. And she explains to you that this item's really powerful. I'm not sure you should play around with it. She's quite cagey with the details.
She seems very secretive.
But what does that do exactly?
I mean, didn't you guys pick up the mirror? Shouldn't you guys know what it does anyway?
Is a powerful, also very dangerous. So when all we know, whenever a person who look into it, it's kind of become charmed by whatever that look look into a mirror.
McCaff explains they then get charmed as such, and they get sucked in it. It takes an essence of the soul to be able to cast a wish spell. There has 3 uses, and you've expended 1 use, and you've also got 1 person trapped inside it.
What are you guys
There,
doing?
there is a person
Trapping
trapped
prisoners.
inside the mirror.
You
Yep.
guys trapping
Is
prisoners
there a way
now.
to get them out?
It's possible, but they need to do more research.
So we can make a wish on it then, pretty
the
much.
With
The wish spell, from what I've been able to find in my research, is tricky.
yes,
Wishes in general are tricky. Never trust a genie.
Actually, funnily enough, you'd be correct.
Someone explain to me, because I don't
So-
know any magic.
Basically, the wish spell can alter reality to create an effect that we want. The trouble is that it can be taken too
Very
literally.
You have to be very careful with your wording with wishes. A lot of people use wishes to demonstrate why you were better off without the wish.
Yes,
I have seen it used as a punishment many a time.
it's a powerful, very, very powerful effect. It's
In the
I
right hands.
personally believe there is a entity that grants these. Now, I may be wrong, and I would kind of like to be wrong, but the maliciousness with which sometimes these things go awry is far too dangerous.
yeah. McCaff says the greater the wish, the greater the likelihood something goes wrong.
So, to give an example, we could wish for the dragon to collapse dead. That wish would be granted. By this entire cave system collapsing on top of all of us, it would cause the dragon to collapse dead and the rest of us.
So does she specifically say exactly in what detail?
Yes.
And the
There can
outcome
be
of that?
no
Plus, it's
open-ended
a very
settings.
powerful spell, and it takes a lot of energy to cast. Hence, why a lot of the soul gets taken into the mirror at the same time.
Yeah.
And
I don't know
that
about
wish
anyone else.
that
I'm not
we
giving
can-
my soul to a wish.
A soul.
There is
So that wish that we can make anything at all.
yeah, there's some things you can make that's safer, not safe, but safer, and then you can wish anything you want, but you have to expect there'll be some very, very, very high ramifications, and that's McCaff telling you that. But she tries to she convinces you it's probably better to not mess with them forces, considering what the cult's trying to do. You might end up progressing what they're trying to do.
I've studied some of the effects of this particular spell. It's dangerous and unpredictable. It is a route that we can take, but I study chemicals and magical formula. This is beyond my ability to use. It can be done, and from what your guild says, you have permission to do so. But we do have a former colleague trapped inside the mill already.
Yes.
We're still working to release them from that realm, that dimension. It's difficult. It's hard.
Okay, how about... What do you think? Since this mirror can trap someone inside, how about... Can we trap the dragon inside the mirror? Which sounds...
And grant the dragon his wish of eternal magical. You know what I mean? Dragons
That's
are wise
the
enough
risk.
to know.
If you
But then,
look in the mirror and
didn't you just say, I'm talking to MacArthur now,
Yeah.
and it's like, didn't you say a soul for a soul, in a way?
so it takes a lot of power to cast it.
I was going to say,
so
like,
it will take your soul if you're not prepared or powerful enough or wise enough to accept it. If you're wise enough to heed it and stare into it, you can cast a wish. So it'd be a very double-edged sword. You could chance it and it might trap it,
Are
but
we
it
able-
also might allow him to cast it. You
Are
don't
we
know.
able to multiply our powers by channeling the? I mean, who here has proficiency with magic?
I do.
And I don't mean you are a savant. I just mean that you have abilities to tap into the realms.
Now I have a sword.
McCaff puts their hand up.
So,
Macaque.
Macath, myself.
And I said
You?
I have
we are going to get
Small
5
magical
more
abilities.
people.
You
don't
have magical capabilities.
I do, but again, very
Fanrin
minor.
has.
minor.
So-
Minor.
I can cast some magics. I have some power to control the
If-
weave, but
If we were to channel your magic amplified through my focus, strengthened by Macath's own magic, would that work, or would we be better off using my? I have more innate magic as a druid. Your magic is more learned.
Wouldn't
So would we be able to?
just needs. It needs. It works more from like magic. Well,
Wait,
it's be the wiser you are, the easier it is to use, basically. So
Combined wisdom.
combined wisdom would be more useful.
I got another idea.
So combined knowledge, combined wisdom would be more useful
My
than
wisdom.
pure magical power alone.
Your wisdom is
So I
one.
got another question.
intelligence is my spellcasting stat.
Can you explain more about what would that mean when you said people who looked into the mirror and got sucked into it? Can you tell me more about it? Is it just they just kind of frozen, or is that
They're stuck in another realm, unknown realm, because obviously she can't determine that. It's too powerful for her to determine full details, but she knows it's another realm of some kind,
I have a suggestion
like a
for
pocket
how
dimension.
to proceed with everything that's going on. Disregard the mirror. Forget about it for now. It's just offering temptation that we really should ignore. Return up to the surface and hope to God or whatever being is up above that the villagers have finally dealt with that clearly corrupt shaman. Call for the reinforcements and wait for them to come. By that point, we'll all be fighting fit and ready to descend back down. Then we will all be strong enough to tackle the. We should all be stronger, not necessarily strong enough, but stronger to tackle that dragon.
I disagree. I got another idea. Since
Of course, you disagree. You disagree with everything I say.
Such a passive aggressive druid.
Yes, I may be a pacifist, but I still have anger issues.
Yeah, but
Half orcs.
your answer wasn't really an answer. Your answer is to leave, which is we don't have time to do that.
We would have to wait for the reinforcements anyway.
He's correct.
We will. But
So we might as well do that on the surface where we can rest and recuperate rather than down here where we risk being attacked.
no, I do
cannot get my voice
understand.
out
I'm
now.
not trying to go for the dragon at this point. What I'm saying is we can use the mirror to get the dragon who look into the mirror. Hopefully that work. Hopefully the dragon is not powerful.
When you say the word "hopefully," it doesn't really it doesn't mean that
This
we're gonna
isn't
get it, is it?
Adult white dragon who has amassed a lot of magical knowledge. It seems highly likely
Macath-
he's strong enough.
McCaff tells you he's very intelligent and wise because they're dragons.
And I asked her because obviously she knows more magic than everyone do. Do you think
Did
the
you
mirror
just say
is
that the
powerful than the
more
dragon?
magic than the other main spellcaster in the group?
No,
McCaff. She explains that the dragon is very intelligent and very wise. It's possible with combined power, but it's also very risky. If you get him a chance to cast a spell, then like cast the wish spell, then you don't know what he will wish for.
No,
That's
we-
too
we-
unpredictable.
I
It's
say,
doable. It might work, but it's also very, very risky. It's very high risk, very high reward.
I say we listen to the druid, only because if we go in there and we lose the mirror, and the cult uses the mirror against us,
Tiamat could be
we will lose the war completely.
It's too dangerous. I say we send for the reinforcements,
And then battle them.
and then, as our druid friend said, we rest, we get our reinforcements, and we come back down in bigger numbers. We should have enough power then, if not to kill the dragon, to at least incapacitate it long enough to retrieve the artifacts.
And also, we have to take this opportunity because if we regroup back to the kingdom, we might not come back down here. And with us being possibly the strongest team to come down here with the extra 5 veteran. I can't guarantee that when they send another group down, they can beat the dragon. But you guys have first-hand attack against a dragon, so you would know what to do.
So you think that add on another 5 people and then really our chances to win it will be
Well, technically
more
it's
than
5 people
50%.
against one
adult dragon.
5 of us, 1 small
6.
dragon, 1 lion, and
One mechanical
panther,
dragon.
and 1 mechanical dragon. So technically we've got 14 people against 1 dragon. Well, 10 people and 4 animals against 1
All
dragon.
we need to do is get it to a state where we can at least sedate it. If we can get it to a point where it's not a threat, then we've got time to retrieve the things that we need to retrieve.
Given a chance to rest and realign myself, I can cause a wall of fire to appear, cutting him off from us, and it would also probably cause some of that ice cube to melt.
This is a sound plan. I'm going with this. We need to make a decision.
McCaff goes, well, we probably shouldn't stay in the caves. We should probably move
Yeah.
Well,
somewhere safer.
Well, Rogue, I don't know what you're planning, but this is our safest option, and we're gonna all move on.
So you're gonna. My understanding is, as a DM, is you're gonna go up to the surface, recuperate, and then
Wait for the
come
5 to come.
back. Wait for the 5 to come,
And then come
which wouldn't
back.
take
Yeah.
long. But it might take a little bit of time, and then they'll come
Long
back.
enough for a long rest?
Long enough for a long rest.
Mm.
But then come back down and tackle the dragon.
Yeah.
Try and get the items
So-
before McCaff is. They know McCaff is gone.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway.
I'm gonna message then. My queen, please send the 5 veterans. We suggest at least 2 high-level spellcasters, as high as you can send. We have a plan formulating.
The Queen responds back and she goes, "We'll send 2 high-level casters and 3 of my strongest veterans. We'll take 8 hours. Recuperate and keep eye on dragon." And that's all you can fit.
Yeah. Understood. Awaiting reinforcements. Report back soon. Okay. I've told the group.
We'll let you know when they arrive, and then that's it.
Yeah. We have 5 reinforcements coming. At least 2 of them will be high-level mages. That gives us extra tactical options. I suggest we go and rest.
Another
Let's leave.
wisp of fog rolls through the cave. Sort of gets a bit of cold, chill air as McCaff begins to hearing you lead you out to the
As I
exit.
see that, I'm just like, Mcgaff, I've got a quick question to ask you. This fog that we keep seeing it every time it comes round, do you know what the essence of it
Just
is?
the winds, just the winds and the snow that comes from the outside just gets blown through the caves. It's just the
Given
way
that
they're
she
shaped.
hasn't exactly been fully trustworthy, I am rolling insight on her.
You won't need to roll insight because that is generally, but being nature based, being a druid, that
Yes.
makes sense. It's
Okay.
just where the snow and the wind gets blown through the edge of the cave, it just gets blown round.
You can understand why I want to roll insight.
No, I understand why
It's
you
just
roll, but
not
you're
exactly-
also a druid, so you'd inherently know that that's in more of the strongest realms of possibilities.
Obviously, I don't know, so my speech to her would be like, "Are you sure? I mean, you've been hiding all your abilities," and I start looking around.
I'm just going to say, it's the wind. It's the wind blowing through.
You would definitely know that's the wind. And she leads you out the caves. Fortunately, you haven't actually encountered any random enemies. I've been rolling all this time. Every now and again, and just all I've encountered is fog and no enemies. So you're actually quite lucky. And you begin to make it up to the village hall. You see now that the shaman is still on the throne, but funny enough, he's got ropes tied around him. He's awake this time, and he's looking at you angrily. He's got like a sock in his mouth, and
I assume his focus and stuff have been taken. And
all his focus has been taken. Bone Carver has got it. There's some guards stood outside. They sort of watch, turn their eyes to you. And Bone Carver goes, "Oh, you're back. You look quite shocked and quite weathered."
Can I try and? I'm going to try and say to Bone Carver and say that we are potentially in a breakthrough of freeing your village completely. Unfortunately, I don't know. Did you see the guy that came up?
Yeah. He explained to us how the shaman was keeping him down there and other people when
Unfortunately,
they got diseased.
I can't say the same for the others that have disappeared. Some may have been eaten, and some may have.
That's a shame.
But one of our
She sounds so
Sincere.
upset.
one of our members have seen there is a dragon underneath, which I suspect you already knew about that.
We knew about the dragon, but I didn't. He's not been attacking people till the last year.
Okay, so we have a plan that we will be executing tomorrow morning, and it's got a lot of us involved with it. Would you be able to join us on our expedition on fighting it?
Make a persuasion roll. I would give you advantage.
Advantage just because there's a big group of us
Because
with a
it's a
bunch of animals.
Powerful.
No, just because
Mind
you've done quite a lot to help them.
19 already.
Oh, natural 20.
19 plus 8 is 25. No, it's 27.
It's she won't spare everyone because she doesn't. We've lost a lot of people, and I can't spare many people. I can spare maybe a few of the best fighters.
Yeah, if you can get your strongest 1 or 2 fighters, I can help out.
She can guarantee 2 fighters for sure.
And I will
If
try
you
and
ask for
look
any
out
more,
for
that'd
them.
be a stretch.
Yes.
And she goes, but give me some time to find out who wants to do it and who's willing.
Okay, we have 8 hours. Sorry, we have 8 hours before we start.
She looks at you just like a blank stare and like a bit of a silence. But she understands.
Yeah. We approximately 8 hours. We have reinforcements arriving. We have made a deal with our
new friend here, as you can see.
Yeah, with our friend here, that we will attempt to retrieve the artifacts so that they will in turn
aid us in the future.
Aid us in the future and aid the council, which will also aid your village. We do need to at least attempt a salvage operation. We felt that we were not strong enough as we are, and I have requested aid from the capital.
Yeah, Bone Cover goes, I trust you. You've done a lot for this village, and you've stopped our shaman. The guy that come up has told us how he forced the people he's taken. He's forcing them to dig out the mines and make the lair bigger for the dragon below. In doing so, they've found different plants and stuff and got disease from it. The dragons used some of the disease ones and been eating them.
What are you planning to do with the shaman leader?
Well, we were planning to. She goes, "Oh, we were planning to make an ice gel for him. I'm against the whole decapitation by ice."
Well, I don't agree to the decapitation, but if
she doesn't either. She's saying she wants to.
I'm saying it as a general myself. I don't agree to that as well. But if you are able to hold on to him after we've come back from the dragon fight, I can take him back to the kingdom and get him gelled in there, which will be protected by more safe,
further away from the village is better. That's understandable.
Okay.
You should go get some rest, and I'll make sure the village hall is protected, like the entrance is guarded.
Just one more question.
Yep. So you want to ask one more question?
So what?
Game over.
What do you know about the white dragon?
So Bonecarver doesn't know much about the white dragon. She just knows it used to just sort of stay in the iceberg and never used to come out. And it's only recently, since the shaman has been going down and working with the dragon, is from what you can gather, it's when he's started to become more involved in, not really involved, but more of the tribe members being taken and causing more trouble for the ice hunters.
Does anyone here speak Draconic?
Don't think I do anymore.
No one does.
I was the only one that used to, doesn't I?
Common, Orc, Sylvan, and Druidic.
No one speaks Draconic.
Technically, my dragon does, but she can't speak. So
I'm just thinking an adult dragon would understand Draconic, wouldn't it? Possibly.
An adult dragon would. Yeah.
My stuff is irrelevant. It's for when we do our rest. So.
Okay. Yep. So you begin to, just for the sake of brevity, Bone ushers you into one single igloo. Make sure the fire is nice and warm. Leaves you to it. Goes to attend to her business. You can hear sort of some murmuring as people like, "Oh, can you believe they asked us to go fight a dragon?" And like some people are like, "Oh, this is so exciting." Some people are like, "That's ridiculous. I'm not doing that." And you hear like this sort of conversation sort of going on outside your igloo for a bit as you settle down for rest. Eventually, it dies down. And you begin to hear just the wind and icy winds from the sea. Hear a faint like the faint patter of snow as the outside begins to get darker and darker. And we will end there and join the next session once you've had a long rest and about to take on a dragon.
I just want to put this on make sure this is recorded so people don't there's no one who gets a bit confused. But when we have our long rest, I'm swapping out daylight and flame arrows for flame arrows and polymorph for wall of fire.
Yep,
which
that's
I
cool.
can do as a druid.
You can do that as a
prepare
druid.
my spells after each long rest. So
same as a cleric.
I'm doing that.
don't have magic.
I'm trying to optimise myself against an ice dragon.
That's a good idea.
So,
now you've got the information to do it, you can. And so you're allowed to do that part of your long rest. So hopefully you enjoyed that session.
I certainly had.
Just for the viewers as well, they've had that mirror since maybe the 3rd episode of the campaign, and no one's realised what it's for this entire time.
We know one thing, it trapped one of our friends.
It did trap one of our... it kind of killed one of our party members this entire time. So that was pretty a big reveal to
HK, rest in peace.
the players here. Hopefully you guys enjoyed.
Yes.
Yes.
Definitely. Hopefully we can get near enough
I
for
think
squad again.
that was quite a RP heavy session. It was good.
It was more RP than I thought because I was rolling every single time for combat and I just get
And we
involved
just
on
did
my
not
random
hit any
encounter.
combat.
I mean, we could have gone into combat.
If myself and Matt were using our previous characters,
You would have been in
combat
combat
would have
entirely the time.
happened.
Yeah,
Combat would have
You
happened.
would have fought the
Dragon.
ice toads. You would have fought the kobolds, the ice trolls,
The dragon.
quack trolls, right, and the dragon, and injured as well. This time you played it quite smartly, and actually it has paid off. Even though my random encounter rolls
I mean,
were
judging
awful.
that this time, like Dan says, me and him are using quite intelligent characters, unlike our last characters who were really dumb.
Well, I say
No way.
intelligent. You did run into a room of ice toads.
I mean,
I played this entirely in
honestly, I didn't know what's on that side, so I was gonna sneak and see what there was, but they saw me and I ran away.
Dangers of
like,
split. Yeah, dangers of splitting the party, guys. That's why you don't do it.
But there are lots of times where we've split the party, and we've come out on top. Though.
Yeah,
So-
I wanted
but that's
to
all
play-
thanks to Lee's role.
I wanted to play RuneSpark like a more intelligent, thinky character than I have done in the past because his intelligence score is really high. It's like my highest stat. So I wanted him to be using his brain and be like,
Yeah,
"Look,
it's good. I
this
think it paid
is
off.
this is the situation. What are we gonna do? Like, we cannot face like." Smoothing down with that whole we killed a dragon. I never said that we killed a dragon. Yeah.
Technically, the whole party group now believes that the old members did kill a dragon when they technically didn't. They, found her in a shot, cannonade a dragon, but didn't kill it. And he's come the furthest to one.
Yeah. So I was just like, I know that dragons are bad business, and it's like we should not like just go in there and like try and face off against it. It's even fully rejuvenated. This, I mean, what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 characters, including the other one, plus
5
one
more,
dragon,
4
a
more.
lion, and
Well,
a
17
panther?
members altogether.
Panther.
because
Yeah.
my dragon wasn't there.
Yeah, true.
So
Yeah.
Well, the interesting thing I've got is I've got a 10 in intelligence, but a 16 in wisdom. So every time I say something, I have to think: is this more of something that a wise person would say, or an intelligent person would say? For the most part, I think I've got it fairly accurate.
No, I think you got it right. And if I think it's not against your character, that's why I'd ask you: does that fit with your character line? It's kind of when you went to the ice toads. I was like, is that really what your character do, or is that like a remnant from your old character?
Well,
that's why I was asking for my
character's more
clarification.
My character's more towards strength and constitution.
Okay.
So I mean, I have honor as well in my character, and like I said,
But
I am a captain, so I would
Yeah.
always charge in front and see if there's any danger towards this team, and we don't know what's on that side, so I went to have a quick check, which I failed to check. And came back though straight away.
But that's what I mean, like, because if when you describe like that, you think of your character, like, is that what my character would do? And then it kind of stops metagaming a bit by just going, is that what my character would do?
Yeah.
And then think it through that way.
It's difficult to.
It's difficult, and it's one of the hardest parts of DnD is to not metagame
I mean,
and do that.
Sometimes
Which is why
I'm always
I tend
thinking
to try and tune out. Like if
exactly.
if I know that it's something that my character's not supposed to know, I kind of just phase out. Maybe check through my spell list or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Just do something that's still relevant to the game, but not relevant to the information.
Yeah, exactly. And then worst case, you ask me, and I might, if I think it's relevant, to say no, you don't know it, or I'll give you a chance to roll an investigation or a nature or an arcana.
But I sometimes always think as Wu as well.
Yeah, your previous character.
You know, what would he do? Go to the ice toad, try and rip his heart out. That's his plan.
Heskin would have probably tried to cut one in half with his sword.
Yeah, so it was a monk and a barbarian for the viewers. But it's quite interesting. It's quite good. But for now, we'll leave this episode here, and hopefully you've enjoyed. Remember to leave a comment and a like down below. Remember to subscribe and click the bell button as well to get notified when our latest video is out. Remember to keep updated on our Facebook and Twitter pages. And tune in next time for our next D&D session. Or our other video games on our... Goodbye from us.
See you later.
See ya. Bye.